It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollers.locals.com. What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday to you. Hi. Stuttering Craig. Man, we got a lot to talk about today, and we got a great panel to do it with. First and foremost, hi, Blabs. How are you?
Hi, it's Bucket Hat Friday.
It's Bucket Hat Friday. All right.
I know, my week is all messed up for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's Friday, so Bucket Hat Friday.
Well, we're glad you're back in all your bucket hat, which is great. It's wonderful. Joining us today, Desiree will be joining us, but apparently her power just went out, which is always...
it's flickered on her, so she'll be right back.
It's always the best time to be power outages at the start of his show, which is great. But I'm glad she'll be back momentarily. But joining us for the second time? Well, a returning guest. Listen, the point is that Warren's imprint on the show can't be measured. Warren, great to see you. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're back, man. How are you?
Doing well. Glad to be back. Thank you.
Yeah. How's everything going in the world of academia?
Oh, it's been interesting, a little bit tumultuous as we've been seeing.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough. It's been interesting to watch kids running at cops with their. Did you see that video of the kids?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then they fall over.
The shield.
The kids with their trash can shields.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been highly entertaining. Yes.
Oh man!
I actually have to annoy Warren.
Yes.
I mentioned weeks ago saying, "Why is your Harry Potter shelf like that?"
I knew you were going to
still that way.
I know. I knew you were going to say something when I get around to it.
Explain your reasoning to me.
When I get around to it, I'm sorry.
Before you do, Warren, look at the hurt in her eyes. Look at the hurt.
I'm sad.
Look at how sad she is. She's so sad.
So I told myself I would do it, but I didn't.
What are you talking about, Blabs? I don't know. I'm missing the point.
Okay, so like a couple weeks ago, Warren had posted a video of himself, and I noticed that his Harry Potter books are split into 2 different shelves. Look at that, one on top of the other. And I was like, why is it that way? And they seem to be out of order also. So it's like what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm going to get around fixing it. And I don't know, how many weeks ago was that, Warren?
It was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
I'll
do it. I'll do it.
Well, there's really only one thing we can call you, Warren.
You burrito chomper.
I hate burritos. Watch him not even like them.
That's it, man. It's crazy. Well, we're going to have to get on it, doggone it, as Cam likes to say. Well, Warren, we're glad you're with us. Also joining us in just a little bit will be Desiree, Lady Desiree. You know her from Kick and her spectacular musical talents. She'll be joining us as well. But she, like I said, she had a power outage. But with that said, we're going to have a great show. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to finish up the week strong in a major way. We're going to dig into this HELLDIVERS 2 stuff, man, because I tell you what, it's spicy. It's crazy. And they have a lot of opinions on the HELLDIVERS stuff. So we're also going to get into May the 4th celebrations, which is great. Also, some white liberal girl making sure that Hispanic Heritage Month is represented for Halo, which will be great. Blabs is very excited because a game is coming out, and a very important, I would say, a very interesting potential purchase could be made in the world of entertainment in a multi-billion-dollar deal, which nobody's talking about. We have another example of censorship in gaming. And then, of course, today we have a little bit of Clown World, which we're definitely going to get into that. So we got a lot going on. But we are glad you're with us. You can be joining us over on YouTube. But I would like to remind you, we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Join us over there. The over 7,000 followers of Common Sense. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it grows organically.
That's right. It's all organic. People who want to be there, which is great. You also could have found out that Warren and Des were going to be on the show by following us over on X, over at Side Scroller Pod. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
Yes, so follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, some type of violence in Pal World.
Violent. Hey, Warren, listen, Blabs, you know what? I bet Des.
She's
Des.
really violent in Pal World.
Des has all sorts of violence. You can just feel the violence just permeating from Des. If people don't follow us on Instagram, Des, do you have some sort of punishment for Blabs to do for them? Some sort of violence?
Okay, wait, what? If people don't follow on Instagram, Blabs needs a punishment.
No, not me. No. I'm not getting punished.
Blabs is gonna punish them.
Yes.
With some sort of violence.
I was gonna say something kind of mean, Blabs.
Oh, what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you have to listen to Blabs sing.
Oh, you know what? That is a form of violence. Their ears will bleed.
Des, we're glad you're with us. And
sorry about that. I'm gonna try and fix my camera here. My you literally said, let's have a good show, guys, and then my power went boom, and then my laptop. I'm like, well, that's great timing. Literally right as he said that. So
Des, I appreciate that you're just hanging out in the Green Hill Zone.
Yeah, I know. No, it's okay. I'm making myself bigger. Here we go.
It was just shrinking. Like, no, going down.
Yeah, I switched to the Green Hill Zone because I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this just for Craig because I know he'll appreciate it.
I do appreciate that. I think that's great. I think you should. Yeah, look at that.
View of it.
No, I like it in the background. I like it in the background behind the like looking at it from the outside. It's
really...
really...
I kind of like it like a window. It's like my magic window. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave the window up then.
Or do you have a favorite classic old school video game background from back in the day, like Guile's stage from Street Fighter or something like that?
You asked me that last time I was on, and I was like, man, I should have remedied that answer because it would have been Tenchu. Honestly, was like my favorite growing up on PS1. Tenchu, wow. Yeah, dude, and they made Dark Souls. That was, I believe, that turned into FromSoft. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
you never played Tenchu?
I did not play Tenchu, no, but I know the game you're speaking of. Yeah. You know, that's been a big discussion over the last month or so. Is people's what are we calling them, Blabs? Like my blind spot. Yeah, the blind spot.
Oh yes, your blind spot. I was like a bling spot.
I was gonna say black holes, but I'll say everybody has like a blind spot.
Everybody has a black hole. That's what you just said.
But everybody has like a blind spot in their pop culture, watching and fandom, right? Like for me, I never saw Lord of the Rings, so I went back and I watched it the last 3 weeks, and it was really fun to go back and watch. And people are like, "How could you not see Lord of the Rings?" It's like, well, So some people, it's like the entire PlayStation 2 era of video games, or the Wii, or whatever it may be. At some point in your life, you had something else going on that didn't allow you to pay attention to pop culture or video games or something along those lines. And so it's always fun to hear people's like blind spots, and people will talk about, oh, there's no blind spots. How can you call yourself a nerd? It's like, get over yourself, like really get over yourself. Okay, Grandmaster Nerd Man, you win. Congratulations. So it's funny. I think it's a really, really fun conversation to have, which maybe one day we will. Over on Apple Podcast, where you can follow us. If you don't want to watch us, you can listen to us over on Apple Podcast. Listen to the show over there as we continue to climb the charts. And once again, you can watch us, watch my reaction to the Lord of the Rings trilogy over at sidescrollers.locals.com. If you are new over here on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. We are just a few, I think we're 3 subscribers short. 4 subscribers short. We just lost one. Damn. Like a fish just going away. It's crazy. We are 4 subscribers short of 79,800 subscribers. So do us a favor, subscribe if you're new. Let's do our best to get to our goal of 800 likes today. And of course, our goal of 25 memberships every single stream. We hit it yesterday, which is great, as we had over 40 gifted memberships yesterday. That was spectacular. So
the big pickle.
Yeah, big pickle for real. For real, Blabs. That's right. A quick reminder, just on a personal note, if you guys are looking to take accountability for your health you can go check out my brand new supplement company called Blue Bonnet Supplements. This from now until the end of the weekend, it's 20% off all supplements over there, which is pretty much all gummies. You notice that I have an empty bottle. It's because I use them all, and I got to reorder some for myself, which is great. My joint and bone gummies. I'm 42 years old. I got to start taking care of myself. So we're going to do that. Use promo code MAY and get 20% off your order pretty much all through the weekend right now. You can find a link to that down below in the description for you. So make it nice and easy for you guys. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Desiree, once again, glad you're on the show. Do you have anything going on that you want to tell anybody about? Do you have any special streams coming up or anything like that?
Oh, just my usual. Well, I do have a birthday. Speaking of 42, I'm turning 42 in exactly a week. So you're older than me. Yay!
I'm not a guess that.
So I
would not have guessed that either, Des.
Oh,
I thought
really?
you were in your 30s.
Oh, oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you so much.
Not you though, Craig.
No.
I knew you were 40.
No, I'm turning 42. Ugh. So I'll do like a special birthday stream, but
And Des, you look great. You look great for being over 40, and Warren looks great for being like 19, which is wonderful.
36.
36. Wow.
Yeah, nobody guesses that.
Yeah, no way.
Wouldn't have guessed.
Here's a question for you guys, and Blabs, you may be approaching this very soon. What was the age? Because there's a point in your life where you're like, yeah, I can go back to I could go back to high school and blend in, right? At what age was that where you were like, I don't think so anymore, right? Like, was it in your mid 20s or your early 20s? Were you like 30? You know, because there's just definitely a certain point where you're like, okay, I'm old now. There's no way I can blend in with a bunch of kids at school.
I mean, I could probably still kind of blend in. Up until about 25, people were still asking me if I was 18. So I may be able to sneak in. I'll be 28
I think you
in like
could.
25 days. So if I dress up like a high schooler or something now, I might be able to sneak in. I'm really short. So
Yeah, you could.
yeah.
I'm going back to school. I'll be like Rodney Dangerfield. Back to school.
I always looked younger than my age, and I hated it growing up because, like, I have a pretty round face. I think that's what kind of makes people think I'm younger. And I absolutely hated it. And finally, like, I guess it was probably sometime around my late 20s. I was like, oh, actually, this was kind of cool. Because now even in my early 20s, I started a family really young too. I was like paranoid that people thought I was having like a teenage pregnancy or something, not to, diss people who are in that situation. But so I hated it for a really long time. And now I love it, but I don't feel like people tell me that as much anymore. I feel like the last couple of years when I hit 40, I feel like it's like been super downhill. Sucks. I need some of your vitamins, Craig.
There you go. Right? These listen, they're not miracle drugs. I promise you that. And that I know, I can attest for that, but they do make, listen, it's about accountability and getting those right vitamins that you need. So, and if somebody could please take this and meme it out for us, please, and put Blab's face on.
How do you do, fellow teenagers?
That's awesome. Hey, right at the bat, we're kicking ass. As DB Wild came in with 10 gifted memberships. That is spectacular. Hey, Warren, guess what?
What?
You pick the color that goes on the wall today.
Oh,
color should DB Wild be today?
We went green last time, so this time let's go green again.
All right.
He says it so like nonchalant. We went green last time. We're going green.
I like green.
It is a good color.
I love it. Sounds good. Well, DB Wild, thank you very much for your support. And if you guys got to give it to membership, make sure you say a thank you and consider paying it forward. We genuinely appreciate that. Puts us at 10 today, which is absolutely spectacular. Thank you again, DB Wild. Let's get you up on the wall. And while we do that, I want to let you know Blabs also came in as a member for 11 months. Has acknowledged me.
Yeah. Roman Reigns, bro. Number 1. Acknowledge me.
You're the one, Blabs. There you go. And Gear came in with 50,000 Indonesian monies. Look at that. Blabs, read it off, please.
Gear says, is Sony asking for another anonymous attack since Sony rejected and sued George Hotz in 2011, a rare genius who could save Sony's flawed security? I don't know this George saga.
I don't know this story either. George Hotz. Maybe we'll do a little digging on that.
Yeah.
But well, that's interesting. And as far as anonymous and their attacks and stuff, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting story to talk about for sure. There's a lot of layers to this, 100%. Tomac says, is this the downfall of Helldivers? Well, guess it's time to return to Earth Defense Force. Yeah. Tomac, I saw your support over on G&G. Very similar message. And yeah, a lot of people could be turning back to the other giant bug death game, which,
Starship.
EDF, man. EDF is great. Did you guys ever play Earth Defense Force? It's like the exact same thing as Helldivers, just 20 years
I thought
earlier.
you were talking about Starship or the Star Shooter one.
No.
No, I haven't played that one.
No.
It's lots of bugs and guts and
Okay.
stuff. It's like the same idea. Thanks so much,
Gotcha.
Tomac. Appreciate that. Nissan came in with a 10, says, would you kindly create a PSN account for democracy? The only thing video game corporations care about more than profit is engagement. Boycott Helldivers 2. A man chooses, a slave obeys. Andrew Ryan, BioShock. Nice. Thanks, Nissan. I wonder if that's where we're going to be going now. This game that's been put up on a pedestal, Helldivers. We're in a little bit of a quandary at this point, which we'll get to that here. And that's definitely going to be a big part of today's show. Snake Master says, Warren, so happy you're back. You're the GOAT.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. The goat of what exactly? But thank you.
I appreciate that the label of greatest of all time has been slapped on Warren.
Wow.
No pressure, bud.
Yeah, don't fail.
Kyle came in and says, free Alex Stein. It's Friday. Alex Stein is the ultimate troll. Also, May 1st burst is greater than May the 4th. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. A big
There's a May 1st burst? What is that?
That's the DSP holiday.
Oh. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Jag came in and says, these days there's no project so successful the corporate PC numbskullery can't make it worth less than dirt. Nothing will be left untainted. Hey, think about something you love. Just think about it. Some sort of video game or something. It's going to be ruined. Congratulations. Thanks, Jack. Arn came in, says, love you side strollers. To all the owners of Helldivers 2 that are on Steam, make sure to write a negative review. If it worked for the Total War community, it can work here. Thanks for the great show, guys. Or I guess the show, guys. Not great. Thanks, Tar. We'll work on getting that great for you.
Just assume it.
The worthy one also came in and says, you're missing out, Blabs. Burritos are awesome.
I love burritos. Whoa, what is this? I'm not missing out.
Burritos are pretty great.
Yeah.
Tomac says, we all have blind spots. I wish one of mine included knowing what guru meant. I don't think, Blabs, do you want to Google that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Either,
Wait, Warren's giggling. What do you know?
I don't know. I was just laughing that none of us know what that means either.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Blabs Googling what guru meant. Let's find out.
I mean, it just says gourmet. Hang on, guru. A Japanese art movement focused on oh no. Anyway, listen. Okay. So it focuses on eroticism and sexual corruption and decadence and a lot of other stuff. Put it back.
And now we know.
And I wouldn't recommend looking up images. There's some weird stuff.
Okay.
My eye.
Thanks for that, Blabs, and thanks for that, Tomac. I am the Icarus came in as a brand new member. Hey, appreciate that, guys. And so did Super Bear.
Look at that avatar.
Wonderful. Puts us at 11 and 12 today. That's excellent, guys. Thank you very much. Rob on Wheels came in and says, Des and I have the same birthday.
Yay,
Let's go.
May 10th.
Happy birthday.
Also Fred Astaire's birthday, which probably nobody knows who that is, but
Blabs,
Is
you know who-
Fred Astaire, it's an old actor, famous for dancing. I basically grew up in the 1930s. I have more in common with people that are 80 years old than people my own age. Seriously.
That's fair. They're more interesting though. They live the life.
They call that an old soul, Des. An old soul. Yeah. Hey, well, welcome, Rob. Good stuff. Eric came in, says the Stellar Blade fueled cancellations are forcing Sony's hand. But this will just make PC players join in on a new round of cancellations. Helldivers Steam numbers will plummet once this hits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. And that's the one thing is we actually will be able to look at actual data from this if this is a vocal minority or if people actually do care about this. Speedy Cake came in with the 20 Australian monies. Says, man, I never knew what May 1st burst was until I saw Gundam stream a day late yesterday with Tevin and a few others lore masters on DSP. Yeah, man. I didn't really know what it was either until, a little bit ago. So, anyways, it's a lot. If you don't know what May 1st burst is, just don't. And Warren, I have a feeling you don't know what that is, and I'm glad you don't. So
yeah, I don't know.
Good. CR Vox, look at this, came in with 20 gifted memberships. You guys are spectacular today. Thank you so much with 20 gifted memberships. And Emily also came in with 5 gifted memberships. Wow. Thank y'all very much.
Wow.
That's spectacular today, guys. That is great stuff. Emily and CR Vox, thank you very much. Let's get Vox on the wall. And then let's get in. But Blabs, how about you give us a rundown of today in gaming history while I put CR Vox on the wall? I want to let you know we do see every single one of your super chats, your direct donations, and Rumble rants. We will read every single one before the show is over. Thank you very much. CR Vox, look at that. Blabs, what do we got?
Yeah. All right. So as it's May 3rd, Tokyo Highway Battle is 28 years old, releasing back in 1996. Red Dead Revolver is 20 years old, releasing back in 2004. And Forza Motorsport is 19 years old, being released back in 2005. Did any of you guys play these games?
Yes, and no. Or I guess no, yes.
No on all of them. Usually I play at least one of them, but no on all of them.
Yeah, the first one. I used to love street racing stuff, so I was all about that.
You love Tokyo Highway Battle?
Anything Tokyo, like import tuning when I was younger, like before I had my license. I thought that even after I had my license for a bit, yeah, like that's when Fast and the Furious 1 came out, a little bit after that, but yeah.
I can only imagine you like trying to dress all fast and furious. So you got like a vest on, looking all Vin Diesel.
Well, I didn't have a vest. I was more like Paul Walker style, but I had a Honda Civic Si with you're not gonna believe this, but I had nitrous oxide in my
Let's
Civic.
go.
With a little button. It's not like in the movies though. It doesn't do like what it does in the movies.
It doesn't go.
No, it doesn't. You just switch it on and it injects into the fuel. It doesn't really make a huge noise, or you don't really feel it. It's not like in the movies at all.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't blast you backwards as you go.
Unfortunately, no.
What a shame. But I'll tell you what, I would love. I guarantee the memers are going to grab you and put you into Fast and Furious, possibly as Paul Walker. We can deep fake Warren into Fast and Furious.
Well, somebody already memed me for a fellow teenager. We'll have to show at the end. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, man, we got so much to talk about, so let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Hard news.
I was doing so good until I forgot to mention that today in video game history is brought to you by our friends over at Zydax PCs. If you are in the market for a PC, head on over and grab one. Link is in the description. All Zydax are hand-built in Salt Lake City and have US-only tech support, which is awesome. And they are committed to customization. So they're going to get you taken care of. If you're looking for a PC, consider checking out Zydax PCs. Once again, links in the description. All right. So it is May 3rd today. But tomorrow is the corporately created holiday of May the 4th. And Blabs, I'm sure you're very excited. You were a Star Wars fan at some point, and you wanted to talk about all the fun celebration that's going to be happening tomorrow.
The thing is, though, they haven't really been doing any like decent celebrations in the last couple of years. Like they don't even make really great announcements. So I don't even know what's going to happen, but there is one thing that I know for certain will happen, and I honestly don't care about it because it's Fortnite related, but there's going to be a Lego Star Wars Fortnite crossover again, and yeah, it's Star Wars Lego Fortnite now. I'll be honest, Fortnite's shit, but if you like Fortnite, this is for you.
There you go.
The end.
All right. Nice. And I guess there's a what is this? The Star Wars.
Yeah, so you literally can be on Hoth and everything.
That's fun. So is this
I mean,
this is inside
I have to
Lego
say
Star
the
Wars?
graphics look great, right? Lego graphics have improved tremendously over the years, and it looks cute, but it's just not for me, sadly.
You know, the Lego Fortnite thing is really interesting because that's like an entirely different it's like Minecraft, like Minecraft in Fortnite, and the ability to kind of create your own areas, and it's what Fortnite has done is fascinating because Fortnite went from an absolute flop. Like most people don't realize this. The original game for Fortnite was not the battle royale that it is right now. The original game was a zombie defense game that was about 3 years too late to the zombie defense game party, and it flopped. It did horrible. And then Players Unknown Battlegrounds was out, and a couple of people took the Fortnite engine and created the battle royale. And the battle royale mode was just like a throw-in, and it got insanely popular and and Fortnite went from flop to overnight success. And now they've turned it into this platform that people can use and create your own games inside of Fortnite, and that's pretty spectacular for them to be able to do that. And over the course of the last decade or so, 7-8 years, whatever it's been, pretty amazing to see. I would say if I was to rank like the biggest like bust to success or like turnaround stories in the video game world, like Fortnite may be number one, because it was dead on arrival when it came out back in the day. Nobody wanted anything to do with it, but now you see crossovers with Star Wars, and you see crossovers with X-Men. So here we are. Warner, are you a big X-Men guy?
Not huge with X-Men.
Oh, you're a little down now.
He's low. Hang on, let me boost him. Boop. Okay, try again.
You're good. Keep it going, buddy.
Is that better? I was more not huge into X-Men. Let me know if that's any better. But like Batman, I was into that. Batman, Spider-Man were my two.
Des, did you have a favorite X-Men or X-Woman back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the 90s X-Men cartoons. I watched them. Of course, I always liked the Rogue and Storm.
Because they were women's.
Yes. I had to identify with them, of course, because that's the number one thing, right? But no, I loved Wolverine too. I mean, how can you not love Wolverine? He's probably, I think, everyone's favorite, right?
Bub. That was Bub. That was his thing. His line, his catchphrase was Bub. Yeah, and a lot of people, the X-Men '97 show, there was a lot of concern about that coming out. They're like, oh, they're going to take something and ruin it. But I haven't watched it. But the general consensus that I've seen is that the X-Men '97 show that they brought back on Disney Plus has actually been pretty good. Really, really good.
Has the animation style been like similar to the old cartoon?
Yeah, I would say the biggest critique of the show itself is the actual animation itself. But the story and the characters have actually, from what I've read, have been very good. And I'm curious, chat, if you guys have seen it as well, and what y'all's thoughts are on X-Men '97, because, like I said, the reception on it has actually been very strong, and from people who are, I wouldn't say doubting it, but were cautiously optimistic going into it. So, yeah.
I really hate like the kind of the newer animation. Like, I don't know if somebody put out a tweet, I can't remember who it was, but like showed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animation, how it's evolved, and like what it looks like now. I really just don't like this kind of modern style of animation where it's like everything's just kind of really grotesque, and it looks just like was like some sloppy version. I don't like it at all, and that really just makes me not want to watch things. So I don't know why they do that. Yeah, that one right there.
Here's the image you're talking about. So here was the 1987 Turtles, and then the reboot in 2003, which still was somewhat of a resemblance. And now here's 20. Well, I guess not 20 years later, but 2018. Like, I don't know. It's really. I think everybody our age has some sort of connection to the Ninja Turtles, right? Yeah. And I don't know, Warren, what are your thoughts on the direction of animation? Because when you watch it, if you look at a show that's animated today, this time period has a very distinct look to it. It has kind of a computer animated.
Yeah. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on like the Spider-Man animation that everyone's raving about with across the Spider-Verse or whatever it is. Like, because I know that's been getting a lot of acclaim, but I hear what you're saying about the change in the animation style. I mean, like these things are obviously going to resonate with us for our childhoods. They were a huge part of that. Ninja Turtles, and I remember the live action. When you were talking about X-Men, I was thinking about those live action movies, and I mean those. I don't know how well they hold up. I got to go back and rewatch them. But we didn't have many superhero movies like that back then. This was before like the Batman movies and everything. So that was pretty groundbreaking if you think about it like that. But as far as the animation, yeah, I'd just be curious about the new style.
Well, there's that the animation style in the Spider-Man or the Spider-Man, like the Spider-Verse movies are like that. They look really cool, but it seems like they're in like 15 frames per second. They're
mixed it up throughout the movie. It changes.
Yeah. It's interesting. I saw the first Spider-Verse movie, and I thought it was really cool to see all the different, the verses kind of, but not just the different universes crossing, but the animation style within those crossing, which, in the same shot, you could have somebody that's moving at 15 frames per second, and then somebody else moving at 30 frames per second. So it's a very conscious effort on their part. So I don't know. I like it. I didn't see the second one, and I will say this. Somebody mentioned in this thread the idea that like this is just updating for modern audiences, kind of the look and the feel of them. And I'll say this:
modern audiences suck. So everything sucks now.
Yeah, you stupid kids. You dumb kids. But I'll say this. If you were to, let's just remove our childhood bias from this, right? If we were to go back and there's a Ninja Turtles from 1967 that looked totally different, and we were talking to like our parents, they'd be like, well, this 1967 was the best. It was the original. And we were like, well, yeah, but 1987, like we would go with what we know from when we were children. It goes back to nostalgia it's a hell of a drug, man. Nostalgia
It is, but like, I think that you can also argue that art has seriously declined. I mean, like, even if you look, if you want to go way back, like, let's take like Sleeping Beauty, for example, Disney Sleeping Beauty, like the lead artist on that, his name was Ivan Earl. His art was absolutely gorgeous. Everything, like you take any frame in Sleeping Beauty and it was beautifully composed. There's just so much attention that was given to, and I know that's a movie, so it's, it's not a direct comparison, but I do think that art has seriously declined as well, music. So
I agree.
I stand
Absolutely.
by that.
Especially with Disney. I love, like, Jordan Peterson calls this out so well with the old Disney movies were masterful. Like Pinocchio was masterful. All those, and the animation styles had to kind of encapsulate those, like the archetypes and everything as well. So it's not just disconnected. So there has been a change, not just in the storytelling, but how the stories are told through the art as well. I agree, for sure.
Well, it definitely has it's amazing how much art can change. It used to take hundreds of years for art to change, and now it takes 2 weeks. Just with the advent of technology and all the different platforms associated with it. It's like the idea that this look now is considered classic, and it's from 1997 compared to today's is pretty amazing. So, all right, well, let's go and move on. Hey, do y'all like your Halo? Y'all like Halo?
I played Halo, the first one. I played it a bit. I haven't really been in much lately, though.
I played a crap ton of Halo back in the day.
Oh man, Halo. Well, Halo Infinite is out, and Infinite's been out for a good while, and it has its fan base. I wouldn't say it's a strong fan base, but it's certainly not like Halo was back in Halo
like
1,
10
2,
years
3,
ago already.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
15 years ago. Oh yeah. I think 2008 is probably where Halo peaked, because that was like the end of the original trilogy. They brought it back in 4, and 4 was okay, but 3 was like, 3 was awesome. Anyways, Halo Infinite is out, and did you also know that it's Hispanic Heritage Month? Did you know that, everybody?
No.
Why? For like Cinco de Mayo? Is that why they did it?
I don't know, Blabs, but that's a better question of why they did this. The National New Hispanic Heritage Month armor coating for your armor, which, as pointed out several times, looks like a piñata, which I don't really I feel about that.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the trans flag a little bit with all the different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I just don't understand how like something, man, these companies, I'm half Hispanic. I'm half Cuban. Although it's interesting how Cubans are treated within the Hispanic culture. It's really funny because like they're kind of like the black sheep because they tend to vote very conservative. So it's weird. We're always kind of like not talked about. But it's like I don't know. It's just so strange because like that could be definitely considered offensive, just so what, that we're just all Hispanics, just like, yeah, like piñatas. That's ridiculous. Why do they even bother?
Well,
you're just trying to pander. Isn't that obvious?
Oh, yes, of course. But I think the most amazing thing about that is the idea that you have like the colors associated with this are bright yellow, which in a firefight, let's just be real, you probably don't want these colors on you because just throwing it out there. You got to be really proud of your Hispanic heritage for you to want to be shot more, which is just silly.
Did they say that that's for Hispanic heritage? Like, how do we know that? Or wow,
that's from the tweet. And listen, the tweets are always accurate, which is great. So
the internet never lies.
always for sure. Well, what's really great is I have found a replica of what the original mock-up of it was, and I'm working on that right now, and I'll be able to deliver that to you in just a second. But,
oh my gosh, have you done AI?
What? No. Why would I do that? That's ridiculous. I have not. But I have been. I have on good authority that this is the original artwork that they were going for, and it didn't quite pan out very well.
I need that song in the background.
All they needed to do was put some tacos and burritos in his hand, and it would have been just fine. So
this is terrible.
Anyways, all right. It's amazing how quickly you can put that stuff together in Canva, which is great. I'll make sure to tweet that out a little bit later on. All right. Hey, Warren, did you play Elden Ring?
Oh yeah, Elden Ring is awesome. I love Elden Ring.
Are you excited for the upcoming DLC?
Oh yeah, I've recently been getting back into it. It's been a while. It's been a few months, but yeah, just this past week I've been starting a new character because my other one, I just went ham on that game, dude. Like I put so many hours into it. One of my students got me into it, like right when it came out, and I had never touched a Souls game, and I just went ham on it. Like it just, and then you get so high level that it stops kind of being fun because you're overpowered, and it's no longer, they calibrate that game. Yeah, they calibrate that game so well, and then they came out with all these cool PvP features, and then I can't engage in the PvP because I'm too high level. And so I'm not that good at it. So when you're that high level, that's just because I put so much ridiculous effort into grinding. And back when they had the rune farming before they fixed the glitches and everything, I was taking advantage of all that. And my students were telling me like, oh, there's this new rune farm. You go here and jump over the bird over the cliff and you kill the, and then they fix it. But I got all the runes. So now when I go PvP somebody, I'm like, I forget what level I'm at, like over 100. And then you go PvP. And so then if I match with someone else who's actually that level, they're so much better than me that it's just not even, it's ridiculous. So I just started over this past week.
Well, the Souls games are, that type of, there's so much cryptic stuff in those Souls games, which is amazing that anybody actually learns how to play those games. And, it's stupid. People talk about like back in the day with Castlevania 2, where he had to kneel against the wall for like 6 seconds for the tornado to come. And it's like, well, how would anybody ever know that? Like, there are things that happen in the Souls games that are very similar to that, where you're like, well, how was I supposed to know that this is a thing? Anyways, Elden Ring was obviously one of the games of the year last year, and the president from Software says that Shadows of Erdtree will be the first and last DLC from Elden Ring. Thoughts on it being like just the first and last? The idea that like this is it, this is all we're doing.
It doesn't surprise me. Like that seems very in line with their style. They're very masterful in that Japanese way. You know, it's like they go and they're all like, this is the masterpiece. I'm glad they're doing a DLC, but it's not like they're not like Blizzard trying to do seasons and continually rolling things out. They put a lot of intention into a piece of art as they present it as art. And I think that's why it lands. And that's why it landed in the context of all this other crap out there. It did stand out as a piece of art because of that. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, as pointed out, David says that tells me this one will be big. Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's
I
gonna be
hope so.
big and wondrous. Great. I love the way you mentioned that, the idea that they're just masterful in their craft, and that's the one thing that you've seen consistently from Software is, you know, like if you go back and you play the first Dark Souls, like it's kind of jank, right? There are points where the frame rate goes down to like, I think you go down into the depths and it's like 3 frames per second, especially if you're playing on like the PlayStation 3 where you can't even see. But you know, at the same time, they're so fun. Those games are so fun. I've not played Elden Ring yet, but everyone's like, you got to check it out.
Yeah, you got to.
So maybe one day we'll go on that adventure and people can guide me through. So
that'd be fun. Should do it.
All right, let's move on to another quick hit before we get to the big stuff. Once again, for those of you guys tuning in for the Helldivers story, we're going to get to that very, very shortly. And appreciate all your support today. We have a lot of support from the super chats and direct donations, including Delta came in with a $50 direct donation. Thank you so much, Delta. That is beyond generous. Says, hey, Craig, have you been up to date with farm folks? Might be a good opportunity to reach your hand out to and DM the CEO for an interview, as he's calling Alyssa's article malicious and ill intent. You can help him understand we all hate shitty journalists. Delta, I did see that right before we went live. The farm folks people who we talked about that a few days ago, they wrote that like really bad apology for their jiggly physics and stuff. And I actually did send them a message I sent them a message a couple days ago saying the exact same thing. Like the best thing that they could do, and really any CEO, whenever there's a controversy, is to come on a show like this that is live and let people see that, number one, you're human. Number two, you're open to listening. And 3, owning up to your mistakes, or at least explaining why you did things. And so many people, they're stuck in this classic, I'm going to reach out to the media, or the media is going to reach out to me. Like, I'm going to reach out to the classic text media. Like, that's obsolete in the most insane way. Like, why anybody would listen or want to be misconstrued by a written text journalist, I use that with quotations, is beyond me. But yes, Delta, I would love to have them on, and I would love to have anybody like this. You know, obviously anybody who's in any sort of hot water on the internet, they should absolutely come on, and this should be a platform for them to talk about it. And you know, it's a judgment-free zone. We are no, I'm not going to say we're the Planet Fitness, because we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we don't align with Planet Fitness.
No, we don't want to do that. But hey, Delta, thank you so much for your ridiculous support. It is genuinely appreciated, and we're going to get you up on the wall as well. All right, Delta, let's get you going. Let's keep going with some news as well after I get Delta on the wall. But first, Blabs, will you please read that from Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle says Vosh has a van without the windows ready, Blabs. But I'm not a horse, so I don't understand. But anyway, thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, he's the guy who had that the horse stuff on his PC,
yeah,
right?
And I think some CP and some other shit. Moving on, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. I agree with this. The round face is almost a curse. If I shaved, I would look like I'm 17, even though I'm turning 28 in 2 months. Look at that, 96 babies. Gang, gang.
The cheeks.
Dagmar says corporations like Sony are obsessed with circumventing our inalienable rights through their own rigorous governments. Don't stand for it, folks. Correct. We'll get into that really soon. Got a lot to say. Epsilon Mansama says, heck, Divers 2 is why I never buy online only games. I like how you wrote down Heck Divers.
Nice. Thanks,
That's funny.
Epsilon.
Thank you very much.
Labs, the Tower Chart came in and just want to let you know that I'm not a journalist. I'm just a normal man, which, hey, at the end of the day, he's right.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
What was
That's
that?
smart. Does never seen that before.
No.
I love that you've never seen that before. It's great. It's my favorite meme ever. It's from a kid show in England or Europe, somewhere over there. I don't know.
Did you know England was in Europe? Thanks, Craig.
European England? I don't know. Somewhere over there where it's
Look at Warren's face. His disappointment's immeasurable. He's like, oh my God. Did you know England's in Europe?
Just know that it's awesome. It's a wonderful meme, and she breaks down in tears. There's like 30 extra seconds, and she just can't make it through the rest of the show. But it's my favorite thing in the world. It's so much so that we have an avatar for it down in our chat, which is great. I would play the full clip, but I don't want to get flagged for copyright. That's all right. Hey, Blabs is excited for a new game that's coming out. She's been hyping this game for months.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just excited that I'll be able to play with more than like 3 people in a first-person shooter game. And so I actually played the play test last weekend, the weekend before that, and it was okay. There's still lots of glitches to come out. And I'm sure that when this thing launches, just like all other games in the 21st century, it seems, has glitches upon launch that they will, push patches for. But this is actually being released this month, guys, May 21st. And I'm excited for this. You can play up to like 6 people on a team.
But you haven't even said the name of the game yet.
xDefiant. Look, it says it right there. And I've said it like a million times. xDefiant. Better? Although it is a Ubisoft game, and I have to say, trying to get Ubisoft to open up because their UI sucks. You can't get this game on Steam, right? It's Ubisoft. It sucks. Trying to become friends with people on Ubisoft sucks. Trying to become like in party is horrific. You have to go through Ubisoft, the main menu first, and then go back into the game. And it's very confusing. It's like, why would you do that, you morons? But yeah.
Well, this is like this game. For those who don't know, this is supposed to be like the Call of Duty killer, right?
No, I mean, no.
The newest Call of Duty killer, I guess, right?
It could have competed, I think, like once upon a time when Call of Duty was really, really in the shitter. But ever since they've been adding Rebirth Island and all these other skins, and people have been going back, cough, cough, Nick Merckx, I don't think it's really gonna compete.
It's pointed out. It says, and you'll still play with 3 people. Congrats.
No, I was playing with like 6 people the other day that I actually know. Like we were all on a Discord call, so suck it, bro. I have friends. Thank you.
I'm just gonna say this about it. Like, I think any game that's modeled after old school Call of Duty in 2024 is dead on arrival. I don't think that type of game really matters at this point. The classic team deathmatch games, while fun, they're not what the gaming audience is buying today. If you can see the hard pivot from Call of Duty itself, they've pivoted all the way over to Battle Royale, and BR is on the way out. Like there will be a next genre of games that people will be into. But I think that the traditional Call of Duty team deathmatch, that's 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
But this game has a lot of different modes. It's not just like team deathmatch and all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of different modes in this. And I gotta say, the maps are kind of fun. Like you go at like a zoo/aquarium and all these other maps. They're different. They're colorful. But yeah, it does need some tweaking to do. I think honestly, you should try it on like the Players channel one day and just give it your honest opinion. Get some of the guys like Extra Zero, whoever, and give it a go.
I didn't know you were into those shooter games, Blubs. I didn't picture that.
Pew, pew, pew. I like Apex.
Well,
and I used to really like COD
too.
I used to be a sniper bitch.
All right. Like Craig, what you're saying, it seems like HELLDIVERS, that's kind of what that was intended to be. It feels like that it was kind of the breaking the model of that. It was sort of becoming the future of what
Yeah, the extraction shooter. Yeah. Well, the extraction shooter, it's like you have a goal, you have, there was this, there are trends in video games, right? And just like in any industry, and I mentioned Fortnite earlier and the idea of it being like a zombie game initially, and it was late to the party, right? And then it caught on to the battle royale aspect of it. Helldivers has propped up the extraction shooter in a major way. And do I have any data to back this up? Not really. It's just a gut feeling based off of seeing what people play, the popular games on Twitch and Kick and on YouTube. That's just my gut. No, I don't have any data saying that, but and I may be wrong, but I'm just going based off of what my eyes tell me. So, yeah. All right, let's go and move on. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye on it, Blabs, when xDefiant comes out here in about
May 21st. So on a Tuesday. Ooh, that'd be fun.
For me, it was Tuesday. All right, this is a big deal. This is like actually a very big deal. It could be. Sony Pictures and Apollo. I don't know what Apollo is, which I probably should if they're throwing down this type of money. But Sony Pictures have made an offer to buy Paramount. Paramount, the when you think of like some of the best movies in history, they're
yes.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, CBS.
Yeah, so Paramount is CBS.
Okay. So Sony has made an offer to buy Paramount. Did y'all see the value of this, Des and Warren? Did y'all see the number attached to this?
What is the number?
Well, I was going to ask you, what do you think the number would be for Sony Pictures to buy Paramount, which, as Labs points out, owns CBS?
I'm guessing over $1 billion.
Okay. Des?
Yeah, I mean, I'd guess over $1 billion too. It's got to be a lot.
You would have to guess 26 times that as a 26 billion.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All cash offer. Just laying
Cash.
around. $26
Why
billion.
would they do that?
I mean,
Paramount doesn't have good stuff, really, does it?
They
What?
did-
The
They
biggest
Godfather.
Halo.
But,
and
yeah.
Halo shit.
I mean, it's the thing that just drives me most crazy is the idea that it's $26 billion in cash. Like they have $26 billion laying around to make this type of transaction.
That's over 5 times the amount that Disney bought Lucasfilm and Star Wars. That was 4-point-something billion back in 2012.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, that's
Imagine though Sony owning like the rights to the Halo show. Like Sony owns Master Chief. Sorry, that's funny.
well, here are some of the this just owned by Paramount Pictures: Addams Family, Beverly Hills Cop, Crocodile Dundee, Naked Gun, let's go. Mission Impossible. I mean, these are some pretty big franchises. Obviously, SpongeBob SquarePants, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Terminator, How's Indiana Jones? How's Indiana Jones over there? That's weird.
I don't know. 16.
Transformers, and the biggest one of all, Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, look at that. They even call it a franchise now because of the musical and the movies. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, I'm floored by that. I'm floored by the idea of the
and Star Trek, Paramount Plus, and all that has Star Trek, like the new ones, which I hear are hit and miss, kind of. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a reason for Paramount.
If you had infinite money at your disposal, guys, is there one company that you'd go out and buy? Like any company? Would it be Disney? Would it be, NBC, CBS,
Warner Brothers?
The BBC, Blabs?
No. I would buy Warner Brothers and I would fix all their shit that they're trying to do.
Yeah, BBC's awesome. I'll go with BBC.
I probably
Isn't that Warren?
I want to restore Disney back to its glory days.
There you go. That would be. Yeah.
You'd have to like decanonize like all of Disney Star Wars. Throw out all these horrible new movies that they've been doing.
Yeah, I see a lot, people mentioning Alphabet, Apple, Games Workshop, and some, I've seen a few people say like Nintendo. I wouldn't touch Nintendo. Like I would, you guys keep going. You guys are doing great stuff. Yes, I mean they showed some chinks in their armor, but over the last couple months with the DEI stuff, but as long as they continue to deliver quality games, I don't want to touch them, man. I wouldn't want to touch them at all. So, but
I was thinking Tesla maybe. That's a
Well,
whole
I mean,
different
Elon's
genre.
doing a lot of layoffs for Tesla because he's doing so poorly. Maybe make him an offer.
In the Cybertruck debacle and all that.
well, that's 26 bill. Not we don't say mill anymore. Sorry, it's 26 bill, which in about 20 years will buy you about 4 tacos from Taco Bell, which will be great. So get in there.
Jeez, so you said Sony's buying that? Sony's buying Paramount?
Sony has made an offer to buy Paramount. So we'll see what happens with it. But there we go.
Imagine turning down 26 billion.
Yeah, at a certain point, aren't you like,
okay, I'll take it. Yeah. They should take it and just get out.
Yeah, and that money goes somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it goes somewhere. So someone's going to be eating lobster for the rest of their life in every meal. So would you like some lobster, sir? Yes, I would. All the time. All right, let's go to our lead story, which, by the way, Blabs, I feel like we need a graphic for this, like today's big story or something like that. I'm going to need to work on that.
Okay.
I don't know. Just felt like telling you that. Okay. The big story today, our thumbnail story today is Helldivers 2. Whoa, here we go. The blowback is real. This was the game that has been propped up as the golden child against wokeness. Everything that is right in the world is Helldivers 2. You get to shoot bugs. You shoot giant robots. You get to go in and get out and get all sorts of stuff. You get to have custom capes and all sorts of colors on your armor. It's so much fun. Here we are. Warren, have you played any Helldivers 2?
Blabs messaged me today at like 10 a.m. She's like, catch up on Helldivers 2 because that's the story. So I downloaded it and tried to catch up, but I only had about an hour and I had to install it. But yes, I haven't.
Play the game.
Well, I know. Then I was researching and I was like, well, this looks pretty cool. Actually, I can't believe I hadn't tried this. And it was like $40. But as we get into the story, people are probably going to have their own perspectives on whether this should be boycotted, whether or not this is a good time to get in. But I decided to just go for it. So I just started it.
Well, it is definitely the coolest. If peeing in your pants was cool, tell you what, Helldivers would be the coolest right now because they are peeing in their pants in the worst way possible. Des, have you played any Helldivers at all?
I haven't played it. I'm familiar with it.
Okay. All you need to know: big guns, big bugs, big robots, boom, explosion, fun times with friends. That's pretty much it. If I was to do an elevator pitch on it, there you go. Well, they kind of screwed the pooch today, and people are really pushing back on this. And there's a lot of thoughts on why this has happened, especially coming off some of the stories we've had the last few days as it pertains to Sony, because Helldivers 2 is a Sony game. So, Blabs, I'm going to let you read this because there's a lot of text, and I struggle with a lot of text.
Right.
So this is a tweet. I'll read up to the actual message itself. So Helldivers tweets out, Helldivers, an important message from our partner PlayStation about account linking for PC players and its significance in providing player safety features. It always comes back to safety. But here we go.
I just want to tie in how this really, if you think about it from yesterday's talk with Sony, new painting and all that, just think about that, guys. All right, so Helldivers 2 account linking update. Attention Helldivers. Due to technical issues at the launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed the linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network, also PSN, account to be temporarily optional. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studio games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. It allows those players to have been banned the right to appeal. And this is where it gets really important. As such, as of May 6th, all new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May 30th and will be required to have linked the Steam and PlayStation Network account by June 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up using this link. Then they can say, oh, we understand, blah, 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 Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Okay. So people may be saying, why is this important? Well, the blowback on this has been swift and just on X's, as they have been ratioed in a major way. And I think just looking at some of the comments on this is the best way to describe, or is to kind of see the feedback and the top comments on this. You can see Disbrew says, was this clearly agreed to by customers before they bought the game on Steam? Surely you didn't just bait and switch everyone to play past the 2-hour refund window, then change a contract, right? And Carl Benjamin Sargon says, I don't have a PlayStation, so I guess I can't play Helldivers anymore then, right? That's Star Wars Girl. This is total BS.
Yeah, but I mean, that's wrong. So anyone can create a PlayStation account.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, how does it work if creating the PlayStation account on Steam is just virtual, right? Like, you don't.
Well, you'd have to make a new PlayStation account, like on Sony website, and then link the two.
Okay.
But the problem that lots of people have, and we'll get into this later on, is Sony was hacked recently too. So it's like, why should you put your personal information on another account when you don't even own a PlayStation and you don't play any of the PlayStation games, right? You bought the game for PC. Why should you have to go and do all this extra stuff where your privacy is at risk?
So we talked about this story yesterday, and this is why people are like, ugh. So yesterday we talked about this story where Sony filed a patent that will monitor your biometric data and read your emotions in order to auto detect and deter in-game harassment.
What? Can you explain that again? Like, what does that mean?
Well,
your biometric.
Yeah,
like it'll probably be in your controller or something. They'll be able to read your heart rate and everything. And if it's elevated, they think you'll be harassing someone or you're being harassed yourself, and they will ban you. It's real. This is what Sony wants to do.
This is a real story.
So I
this is
would
a real
suggest,
Oh my goodness.
you ask for a refund for your game because you haven't played it yet.
Dang. Yeah, it's like an hour ago.
Yeah, you can ask for a refund and you'll probably get it.
I doubt it.
So that's why people. That's why people are very, very upset about this. Like the amount of distrust is very low right now when it comes to Sony, and it's coming off of Stellar Blade and this note about the patent that they filed and the technology behind that. And probably the biggest thing is people bought this PC game with the intention of playing it on PC, so they didn't have to worry about any console stuff. And you have to have a PlayStation account to play on a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, whatever. But you are, as pointed out here by Bucky, says, I'm sure this will be very well received by PC players and everything will be smiling rainbows. It has not been, because PC players are their own group, and they are very protective of their PC games. So you can see the pushback on this has been very real, as people have, as was suggested early on, go in and give it a negative review. So here is the Helldivers 2 reviews just in the last week. It says Helldivers 2 received over 14,000 negative reviews today due to an update that will require PlayStation Network accounts next week. In case you missed it, SteamDB now has daily reviews on the charts page. So there you go. You can see the pushback on this in a major way. This has been a very positively reviewed game. And people have not been into this decision because, once again, we are now in the process of combining the PC and Sony world. But there are some larger issues here. The idea of, you have to select your region that you live in. You have to select a certain country that you live in when you create your PlayStation account. Well, what if you live in one of these countries that doesn't have, or that isn't listed in the PlayStation country selector? All right, let's just say you live in country, but that allows you
China, Russia.
Well, maybe a game that that you can play on Steam, but isn't available when it comes to Sony. So guess what? Your $40 game that you bought is no longer usable because of this update, right?
Unless you make a VPN, which brings me to like my next point about this, was that I went into the Discord, shout out to Skirmitar for the recommendation, and somebody asked the community manager in Discord, and they're like, you guys should look quickly into the Discord announcement how to join from a region where PlayStation Network access is prohibited using a VPN. And this guy right at the bottom says, we do. Like, they know how to break terms of service, and they're kind of suggesting you should probably break terms of service, but that they also don't know all the information. It says, we're still waiting for more information from Sony. So don't you think you should have made all these announcements when you had all the information readily available instead of getting hounded by all these people saying, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because now there's people who are going to break Sony's terms of service to try to play this game because they don't have PlayStation. It's like, this makes no sense. You guys are stupid. And there's even more here from another person in Discord. And they're like, listen, I live in a country that doesn't have PlayStation Network. If I use a VPN, I will be banned from PlayStation Network. If you're forcing this to us, then at least give us our money back. Not only that, in my country, there are over 1,000 players who play HELLDIVERS 2. You just single-handedly killed your own game. Congratulations. And they're like, well, first of all, it's Sony's decision, not ours. Secondly, we don't have all the details about region-related issues yet. We're chasing Sony to get more information. So again, it's like, why didn't you plan this out? If this is the way this is going to go and Sony is forcing your hand, you should have released everything when you had all the information. And I think it's a shit idea to even force people to make an account for Sony when they are never going to play Sony. It's mind-boggling in my opinion.
You know, as pointed out right here, by Suna Soul Silver says, let's not forget this was announced on a Friday in hopes that it would be gone by the weekend, right? There's usually this Friday news dump that happens, and it's like, well, hopefully they'll just forget about it. I don't think this is going to be forgotten about.
This is huge.
If you don't really get it from the outside, like I want to continue the story from That Park Place. It says numerous players have indicated they would stop playing the game given the linking was mandated. And as such, it appears Sony and Airhead, the developers of the game, have locked the thread on Steam talking about it, right? Because, it's like people have been pushing back. So, well, we just don't want to hear it. It goes back to the plug in your ears and saying, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't hear it,
There's like a 2-minute slow mode enabled on Discord, last I checked. So every 2 minutes, you were able to write one thing.
John Goldaros wrote, the future desertion of HELLDIVERS 2 in less than a month. Adios. I don't have a PlayStation account, nor do I effing want one. I will seek a refund for this if a PlayStation account is enforced. You're already using a trash anti-cheat in a PvE game. It's like Sony doesn't want PC players to play their most popular title, literally 100-0 in 3 weeks. And this is going to be real interesting to see. And right here, can you explain to me how selling my personal data to Sony PlayStation will make me safer?
Can I ask a question about the game? Like, so this is basically to combat Sony saying like harassment. So people, when you go online, you're trying to play with other people and they're harassing you. Is that what I'm understanding? And bullying?
That is the implied upside of this. We're gonna make everybody safer. It's for your safety,
right?
Des.
Like controlling everything.
Oh yeah, I mean we all know it's about control. We all know that. But I mean, do you have? See, this is what drives me crazy. It's like a lot of games you don't have to talk to people. You don't have to have that component there. You're choosing to get
you don't have to talk in the game.
Yeah, I mean, when I was playing Halo 3, many times I would get some obnoxious guys in a thing. I'm like, I don't want to deal with these guys. So I would turn my thing off and turn it off, and hey, problem solved. Problem solved. You know what I mean? It's like it's like this. Like, are people being forced to play video games in order to be fed every day? Are they being forced to play this game? No, it's a luxury. It's something fun you get to do. So no one's forcing you to being bullied. Right. The whole idea is so strange and destructive.
It's just another way to have more of your private info. And like I was saying before, Sony has been hacked multiple times in the last few years. So this is just another risk of having your information stolen. I mean, listen, it's already out there, right? Your phone and everything. But like, it's just another thing. Like, why should you make an account for PlayStation when you don't have a PlayStation? You are playing on Steam. You bought the game on Steam. And it's mind-boggling because you bought this game without thinking that you're going to play have an account with PlayStation. You bought it for your PC, and now you can't play this game anymore in a couple of weeks unless you make a PlayStation account. So, like, you bought this $40 game, and if you don't want the account for PlayStation, you can't play the game. So it's like, well, this is against your rights. I don't even know how legal this is, to be honest. Like, terms of service, change it on you. I would have to really look into this, but it just doesn't seem very morally correct, if anything.
How would having the PlayStation Network account stop the quote unquote harm or the bullying? Let's say.
Because then they can track you and they can just ban you because it's
and
a
they
Sony
can't
game.
do that on Steam or like
Well,
already.
that's what I'm
Right.
confused about, right? It's Steam. Like, why can't they just be like, oh, you've been banned or you are on timeout, whatever it is? No, Sony has to have their hands, little puppet hands inside of everything. But I actually I bring up a really good point about, the VPN and all this stuff because, they're going to combine the accounts and link them. So Nasmer, who was on the show the other day on Tuesday talking about Tarkov, he says, the thing is as well, my PlayStation Network and Steam accounts on Helldivers are separate. I own the game on both platforms, so me and my girl can play together. If I link it now, will the PlayStation Network Helldivers profile take over my Steam and reset my progress? Will my girlfriend not be able to play with me? And that's honestly a huge question. It's like, okay, if you have them on both, will they just combine all your progress and you won't be able to have them on two separate accounts? Like, how is this working? And there really is no answer for this stuff yet. And again, like I said, they should have released all the information prior to just dropping a huge bomb like that.
This goes back to you mentioned Skirmitar as well, and he put this out. The thing about data, it's like, hey, here we are. Sony confirms data stolen by 2 recent hacker attacks. This is late last year. It's a consistent theme. Hey, let's put your data somewhere else, which is great. Grums put this pretty well. He says, as a PC gamer, I'm completely uninterested in upholding the values and safety security on PlayStation, right? Like, why as a PC gamer, I have no interest in doing that on a PlayStation. It's a ridiculous requirement that binds you to Sony's terms of service, even if you don't own a PlayStation. And therein lies the issue. You didn't buy a PlayStation, so. And
then you can get into trouble because you don't even know what Sony's terms of service is because, like, why would you care, right? Just because you made a little account, you forgot about it. What happens if years later they change the terms of service and like, oh, you did this like 5 years ago. You said this, like, you're in trouble now. Sony's going to come after you. Like, that is an entire possibility. I know, a tinfoil hat, but like, that is a thing that can happen.
It's not a tinfoil hat. That stuff is already happening.
Yes.
I mean, look, you're talking to the person who got banned from a convention because I wasn't being safe and inclusive because I followed a stupid account. I mean, are you kidding me? So yeah, that stuff is already happening. That's what, like, I know there's a lot of details why all this doesn't make sense that you've explained, Blobs, but I just think like this, the premise of it is what really pisses me off because it's like this, it's trying to get everybody in the country used to the idea of, these words are equal violence and people are after you or whatever. And who's dictating what is going to be harmful and what's not harmful speech? I mean, this is way too 1984. We are already there and it really pisses me off and it scares me and I don't like it just for that reason alone.
Yeah, it's part of the charm. The degeneracy is part of the charm for me of gaming. If you take away the potential for degeneracy, then it's like taking Asmongold away from fucking YouTube or something. It's like it just makes it boring. Not that Asmongold is hate speech or anything, but it's part of the charm. Like, don't tamper with it.
Yeah, if you can't take some, insults or whatever, like none of these people survived Call of Duty back in the day. Let's be real here. Yeah, if you can't accept, that maybe someone's gonna be a dickhead to you. You can just mute it,
If it's too far, then turn off your mic, turn off your headset. That's all you gotta do. No one's forcing you.
Hey,
it's so destructive. Like putting these ideas. Sorry, am I getting too riled up?
No, Des, you need to stop with your common sense. Cut it out. Stop
I'm just
it.
a girl. I don't have any common sense.
It's like, I'm just female. We're just innocent females.
Don't say mean words to me.
Stop it. It's okay.
You know what's really funny though was that I was literally saying this the other day. I was like, I haven't been able to play Helldivers because of how many glitches I received in the game, and it's finally been fixed. But at this point, anytime I say, "Hey, someone want to play with me?" they're like, "No, your level is way too low for me. I don't want to because I'm so behind." Right? So I never played the game, and I'm like, I kept thinking, I was like, "Oh man, I'm just gonna be so behind. Like I shouldn't even bother anymore." And now I have the perfect reason not to pick it up. It's like, oh wow, I'm not playing anymore. Guess I didn't miss anything. Guess I'm not left behind. Ha ha.
I'm in a big Helldivers 2 DM group on X, and I'm curious to see kind of what people's response to is this in there. If people will continue to play, because the people in this group, they're like, oh, this is the, they're like Helldivers all the time. Just hook it to my vein. All they want to do is play Helldivers. So I'm gonna need to go through and see what the general mood is on there. But I'll say this: the CEO of Arrowhead and the Helldivers 2 creative director has made a comment about this, and it's it is what it is. Hey everyone, in regards to account linking and questions there too, please reference this link. If you have any further questions, you can reach out using the contact PlayStation support at the bottom of the page. So he's pretty much going like, he's like, hey, if you got any questions, just go over there.
Which doesn't even answer any of the questions. I looked at the link. There's like nothing there. I think you have to sign in on PlayStation to ask stuff. And it's like, well, that defeats the purpose.
Right. Well, what's funny here is there's a few questions here. You're going to, cross progression and stuff. Lethal comes in with in his so many words.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So this was interesting. This guy says, I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further, which is, obviously, Darth Vader, right?
That's honestly what happened. This was the contract saying you can play on PC, no problem. And then all of a sudden, oh no, sorry, you have to have a PlayStation account to continue playing, or else too bad, you can't play this game that you bought.
But here's his response, though, is him like clapping to it. This is the CEO clapping to that, right? Saying like, what? So the way I take that, if I could read into that metaphor, it's that he's saying this is what happened with Sony, and that he's agreeing with that, just not publicly. Am I reading that wrong?
I mean, that could be one way to look at it, or another thing where he's like, "Oh, I'm clapping because we altered the deal," and he could be the bad guy, and he's like, suckers." It could be either one.
Right. As Warren, you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw somewhere posted where it was, he was responding in a way that alluded to like our hands are tied and we're being forced into it. But then I also heard the claim that they had been transparent about this from the beginning, saying that they were. Is that true? Do you know whether or not that's true, that they were saying that this potentially could happen?
I never saw that, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I saw that being tossed around as well, but I can't speak to that. But Mike, you're right. Says this response screams, guys, it isn't us, it's the publisher. If you wanted to reverse, go complain here. We hear you, but there's nothing we can do. Blink twice if this is the case, right? That definitely appears to be, the big thing is that this looks like we've talked about this before, but the publisher to developer relationship, right? The publisher gives the developer a giant bag of money and they say, go make the game you want to make, right? And the developer comes out and they say, here's the game we wanted to make. And the publisher goes, great, now change all this stuff. And then they go, well, but that's not the game we wanted to make. And they said, well, did you like that giant bag of money? And they go, well, yeah, we like the bag of money. They said, well, then you better go make those changes. Right. And that's usually how this works when it comes to this. But once again, all just shrouded in this idea of it's for your safety, little man, pat you on the head. And that's the most condescending thing about this. They clearly think that everybody who plays video games are just absolute idiots, and can't see through this stuff. So we'll see if we're talking about Stellar Blade. That's been a big topic of conversation. And Stellar Blade put out a tweet after the whole pushback on them and the censorship, and they're like, "Hey, we hear you guys. Be looking out for an update soon." So some people are taking that as maybe they're listening, right? We'll see if that happens with Helldivers, because I know a lot of people in our chat, they love Helldivers. A lot of people that in our community, they love Helldivers. We'll see what the response is to this. If they have a response later today, if they have a response on Monday, if they don't have a response, if Sony puts their foot down on this, in 30 days, are we going to see a mass exodus of Helldivers? And if we do, does it matter? You know, like, well, we sold a bunch of games. We're good. You know, we saw a tremendous success. We're good. I guess, you know, we'll chalk it up to a learning experience for next time down the road.
Yeah, I will say, I'm in the Helldivers Discord, and they are pissed. All the people who are in there, they are fuming. Like, the chat is flying. They're doing all the Sony memes in there. Like, they're not happy, these guys. So it's definitely not like a little tiny thing that's going to go away over the weekend. At least I don't think so, especially since this is effective soon.
Yes.
Well, it's so coincidental. Like, we covered that story earlier in the show about them making the offer for $23 million. That was Sony, right?
Yep.
26 billion. Sorry.
They don't
So
need
they
more
don't need
power.
the money. Yeah.
Or the money. But and this is really the time that people have got to keep making noise and pushing back. We're like at a really interesting time right now in the video game industry, and there's been so much finally, like, people are really stepping up and making their voices heard. And I just hope people don't back down, because there's got to be some change.
I think people are fed up, and you start to see that more and more. Like, even the normies are like, "What the shit, bro?"
What's interesting is this continues deeper, like this idea of Sony just taking L after L after L over the last little bit. Because this continues. I don't know this game at all, but there's a game called I don't even know how to say this. Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. All right, this is a game that is coming out. It's obviously I'm not its audience, but they have an art book coming out. It's a physical art book that is that you can buy you can buy the game on the PlayStation or the Switch. And on the Sony art book, the physical edition, it will be censored. And it says, due to differing platform publishing policies, the art book included in the physical limited edition for the PlayStation 4 will be printed with graphic modifications. But the irony that Nintendo is coming out as the company that is like, yeah, you can just put everything in there. No matter what it is, it's just another one of those things that's just like, are you really, like, what are we doing? You know, I doesn't make a whole lot of sense what Sony's doing at this point. It really feels like they're like pressing their thumb down as a corporation on what they deem to be acceptable or not.
I just want to say something. I got a DM from Skirmitor just now, and I'll read it out so I don't like dox everything. But a DM or like the CM, I should say, in Discord says, "Well, we all always knew this day would get here, and it's going to be how I expected. I'm actually happy for us to be able to take action against player reports and make the game safer across the board personally." This is from a community manager in a Discord, in Helldivers Discord, the official Discord. So the CMs are like, "Woohoo!
Right.
Control."
Well, I mean, that's the community manager's job is to control. That's literally
No. But he's actually saying, "I'm for this idea of PlayStation coming in and saying you need to make an account or else you can't play this game."
Yeah, it makes their job easier, right? Because then they don't have to deal with with people's naughty language and naughty words and teabagging.
I have a lot of bad things to say to them.
Yeah. Oh, what do you have to say to them, Blabs? There you go. I got one. Hold on. Where are you, Bill? Bill's around.
Oh yeah.
Fuck off, you oversensitive little shits.
There you go. Nailed it right there. Hey, Alec Baldwin's finger came in with a $50 super chat, and I think he nails it right here. It says, all Sony had to do was offer a free skin or weapon by linking your account. Missed opportunity, right? And people have been like, yay! Like, oh, I got something free for doing this, instead of just like, do it now. Otherwise, you can't play.
Yeah, but then it'll just be hidden. in like control, and I think even people be like, you're trying to bribe me.
Well, yeah, and yes, I just don't think the pushback would have been as much
It
as
probably
it is.
wouldn't have been. They're like, yeah, I got something. You're right, but damn, that would have sucked because then everyone just rolled over and showed their bellies.
You can go. Please take
That's a great name, Alec Baldwin's finger. I like that.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Alec Baldwin, not so much. His finger, not so much either. But the account is great.
Hey, Higa44 says, looking forward to Take Games Back. Yes, absolutely. That is another great example of why you need to take games back. Go to takegamesback.com. Link is in the description. Listen, I've talked about this. Things are moving on Take Games Back in a major way. I don't know if you guys know this. I launched this about a month ago, and I think almost 2 months ago now. And I've been working pretty much as soon as I announced this. Pushback. The reception has been very, very strong, and the whole idea is that the award shows are being voted on by the same people who hate video gamers. So the award shows currently are an industry event as opposed to a community event. So I want to create a community event where gamers actually have a voice to vote on the things that they love. And that's what we're doing at Take Games Back. So I've talked a lot about the board of directors, and we're going to have an entire board of directors. And I'll be, I think at the start of June, we'll start throwing out and letting you guys know who that board of directors is. But if you'd like to be associated with it, if you'd like to join our little club, which is growing a little bit more every single day, head over to takegamesback.com and learn about it. And have your voice heard. That's the whole idea. Hey, Higa, thank you so much for that. I'm going to get you on the wall as well. It's important that we just start taking steps. We have to create a parallel economy, and that's the biggest thing. So thank you for that, Higa. Once again, go to takegamesback.com. We are going to do it. Also, not to be outdone, Kratos El Gratos came in with a $50 super chat. Blast, please read off Kratos's super chat, please. You are muted.
Boomer. Sorry. Kratos says, besides PlayStation Network's safety features, I can see the devs wanting to only use one common infrastructure for a crossplay game. If you want username profile pic in the game, join friends, cloud saves, achievements, etc., it's not easy. It's a lot easier to use one system. Yeah.
Thanks, Kratos. Appreciate that, man. Kratos knows a thing or two about video game development, which is great. Good stuff, Kratos. And not to be outdone, Joey also came in with a $50 super chat. You guys have been generous today. Thank you very much for your support. Let's stink and go. Lots of names on the wall.
Yes. Joey says, truth is, Arrowhead can't say anything negative about Sony due to their distribution agreement. I personally don't like that PC players are being obligated to create Sony accounts to play Helldivers. Players need to pressure Sony themselves. I mean, I think they'll start to see it when people stop playing the game and they start uninstalling and no one's buying the game. If that happens. But yes, thank you very much, Joey, for your contribution. And there's one over here from 20 from Spartacus. Let me grab this. Circuses and bread, these items used to keep the average person happy. With the downward spiraling economy, it's harder to obtain these. Making circuses harder to gain only makes the average person more angry. Yes, everyone seems to be more angry lately. It's because the shit sucks. And the world's not doing so well.
Thank you, Spartacus. You guys have been awesome today. Thank you again for your support. Once again, we'll read every single Direct Donation, Rumble Rant, and Super Chat out before the end of the show. Well, excuse me, before the end of the show. There's so much going on. So much going on. Let's make sure we get off Kratos here. Once again, says it's the same with Ubisoft games on Steam. You need to have a Ubisoft account to use the in-game features, joining Ubisoft Friends and Rainbow Six. They're likely using Sony's infrastructure for certain features like AI bully sensor. Thanks, Kratos. Appreciate that. And Lee Pao Yang says, PSN account is all about selling Sony subscription services. If you want to play online, you might just have to pay for it in order to play Helldivers 2 online later down the line. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate that. And hopefully that's not the case, but it's all about that money. Ryan, the editor, came in with the 10, says it needs to be noted that Arrowhead is pushing all of this quote-unquote safety policy stuff in May just in time for the glorious Pride Month. That's in June, isn't it? And seeing as most of the Helldivers 2 community has said they don't want that, there you go. You know, Ryan, that's we're going to put on our hat, put on the conspiracy hat, but you know, things line up like that. Dark Side Droids came in and says, "What a total bait and switch! I boycotted Sony, and they struck several popular YouTubers before Last of Us 2 release. I started playing Helldivers 2 and feel betrayed. Sony shares data with third parties." Dark Side Droids, sorry, buddy. Sorry about that. It sucks. Vice came in and says, "Sony can connect their eyes to my middle finger because I'm not doing it, son." You know, we mentioned the downvoting that's happening right now on Helldivers 2. And it's I mean, this looks like a lightsaber. It really does when you look at the downward spiral of negative votes that's happened here. But you need to do more. You need to do more than just, downvote and post negative reviews. You need to not play. You need to uninstall. You need to get refunds.
Dang Greg.
But I mean, that's the reality of it.
You
right?
can get a refund. Have you played
Just
it?
got it.
No, you can get a refund.
Yeah, I just finished the tutorial.
Yeah, you can do it if it's like what, 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, 2 hours or less, you can get a refund.
Yeah, you can totally get a refund. Just request one.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. Daedalus came in and says, "If they had forced me to make an account when I first got the game, I wouldn't have been mad. I would have gotten my refund and went on my way. This comes off as them trying to get around Steam refunds." Right. And that's the thing. People are like, well, you knew this was coming, right? Well, did you? Because it may have been a line in something that you may have signed somewhere along the lines. And, technically, yes, you had to agree to it. But at the same time, like, let's be real, like that's what makes it feel scummy for a lot of these folks. So Mark of Reality says, "The offensive part is where the wokies are self-appointed, unelected representatives of the minority communities and tell them how they're required to think." We must be talking about the Halo Hispanic sombrero our stuff we had going on earlier. All right, let's we'll get to all your super chats here in just a little bit to finish up. Once again, thank you guys very much for your support. We do have do we want to go to this last story about the Sweet Baby Inc. game, or do we want to go to Clown World, Blabs?
Go to Clown World, because that story is kind of old at this point already.
Okay, all right. I like to have a little bit more data, and I feel like we got more data to reflect it. But let's go ahead into it. It's time. It's time for everyone's other favorite segment. Where's my Clown World? Where is it? There it is. It's time for Clown World.
Clown. Clown.
All right, here we are. We have entered Clown World. You can tell, if you look around, you can see all the insanity that's happening, and that is where we put the focus on today. Des requested this one. This is, speaking of it's been stories been passed around the past week or so. Let's go over to thatparkplace.com as Disney World. Damn it. It's just, it's one of those stories where you just start off and you say Disney World and you go, and you kind of power down a little bit.
You're kind of like, oh shit.
Here we go again. Here we go again. As we have the evil queen being played by a dude. This is a family attending an expensive dinner at Disney's Wilderness Lodge at the Walt Disney World Resort. Had a character experience when they walked up and they found out the dude was a 6'5" linebacker. And here we are. So there's the guy playing the evil queen. And some people will say this has been a reoccurring theme along the way for Disney, that sometimes dudes play female parts. I don't know, Des. I'll let you open up here. What do you got on this?
Well, I have somebody very close to me who is a Disney princess. Disney is extremely strict about saying certain things, so I cannot tell you more than that. But I know how rigorous the process is, and how many people apply for these jobs. It's insane. Like, if you actually get cast as a Disney, as a princess or a villain, any of those are highly, highly, highly competitive. And I'm talking like over 1,000, like thousands. I'm not sure actually the number of applicants, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's a lot. And so they keep narrowing it down and narrowing it down, narrowing it down, and it's just so insane to me that, I mean, this is something that's taken from a woman, all the people who applied for that job, and it goes to a guy. Are you freaking kidding me? And it's just, just yet another example of this, of men actually infiltrating like a woman's actual character here. It's just insane. I'm just so disappointed in Disney because, I mean, as I said earlier, like I'm a huge Disney. I was raised on Disney movies. I love all the old classic stuff, and it just is. So, it's really spoiled it for me, and that's just like what's happening across the board with all these things that we love. I mean, I really feel like it's just a concerted effort to just demoralize the entire country and maybe even world at large. And it just really, really upsets me a lot.
So we have the direct, the story according to the father who walked up for this character meet and greet. And I want to read this off from thatparkplace.com and going to give you the full account of it. It says, while we were waiting for the desserts to come out, we received our invitation to meet the evil queen, which we were really looking forward to. Keep in mind, we've had other meet and greets with other villains, and they are truly the best character experiences and that we've ever had. And we were in high hopes of the evil queen leading up. So we all walked up towards the evil queen area, and while my kids and wife were interacting with the character, I was doing some video, and I took a few pictures from about 10 feet away, then headed my iPhone over to the cast member and take some pics for me so I could get in the picture. It was kind of loud inside, so I couldn't really hear what the character was saying until I got face to face. Typical conversation from a few feet. Then it hit me. The evil queen, without a doubt, had a man's voice. And as you could see, the evil queen literally standing tall over the entire family here. Like I said, a 6'5" linebacker over here. The father continues as they went in. They said, I told my waiter that I had a problem with something. He asked what the issue was, and I simply stated that I have a problem with the evil queen being a man dressed in drag. The waiter immediately said he was going to get the manager, and he looked panicked. At first, I said I wanted to formally complain about the evil queen being a man, and that I felt very disrespected by Disney because this is not the sort of thing that my family values, and they didn't give us any sort of notice that this type of thing was even a possibility. After that, my wife then signaled for me to stand up and take a step from the table so that our kids didn't have to overhear the conversation. I stood up and continued my chat with the manager. We lasted about 1 or 2 minutes, maybe felt like an hour. I stated that we're a conservative Christian family and I'm spending $8,000 on my current trip, in addition to the tens of thousands of dollars I spent together in the past Walt Disney World and Disney cruises, and that this is not right. For the most part, the manager just listened and never once apologized for anything. At one point, the manager stated, I can assure you that she is a woman.
Of course. Sorry, go ahead.
She went even further, trying to shame me, informing me that she was so excited to be part of the evil queen. For a brief moment, I thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong. But then I realized I was just being gaslighted. I politely told the manager, I know what you're doing, and I don't appreciate the fact that you're trying to be funny and disingenuous. So the manager doubled down, and I also doubled down, and I asked, is the evil queen a biological male? Manager's reply was, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot answer that. So there we are.
Did they ever confirm it for sure? Just because imagine like you double down, and what if it's just like a really funny looking lady and he's actually wrong about it?
They would have definitely said yes, it's a biological woman if it just happened to be a woman with a manly voice or something.
Gotcha.
But it's, I mean, like, like the stepmother, I heard her dimensions are supposed to be bigger, like they have like certain height requirements and stuff. But I mean, was that person really like super duper tall? Like it looked like that in the picture. So they're definitely, so they're going outside of what they, all of, their strict guidelines that they've had for years.
Well,
I'll be honest, it even looks like a guy straight off the bat. Like just looking at him, it's like that's a man. Look at his cheekbones and everything. Look at his hands; they're massive. Women don't really have big hands.
Well, let's check out to see what this evil queen sounds like.
You are my favorite evil queen. Oh my god! I'm also my favorite. We have so much. You are my favorite evil queen. Oh my god! I'm also my favorite. We have so.
I'm also my favorite. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me get to that.
That's actually. It's annoying too because like part of being in any of those roles, you actually are supposed to sound like the character. Like there is rigorous training and learning their phrases, their inflection, and all of that. That sounds nothing like the Evil Queen. Like nothing. I mean that sounds exactly what you would expect it to sound like. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like a gay man.
Yeah, 100%.
What's that, Warren?
I had no idea that was like a thing. People trained for these positions and they were competitive.
There's so much I could say, but I can't say it online because I don't want to get.
What do they do? Like birthday parties or?
Well, listen, I can speak for this. I can speak for this actually very in depth.
Be careful, Craig, because do you know that like somebody was dating a Disney princess, broke up with her, and then sent a photo of them backstage in Disney from like 7 years prior, and Disney fired her because of it. So be careful what you say. You might get if this person that you're about to reference is still working. Okay, go ahead.
No, they're long gone. So I've told the story before, but I interned for Disney in the summer of 2000 as part of their college program, and it was a really great experience. I worked there for 10 weeks, 3 months, something like that, just over the summer. And this is back in this is back when Disney was Disney, right? And I feel like I learned a lot over that 3 months. I learned a lot about myself, met a lot of great people from across the country. And during that time, I met a girl that I dated for most of my time while I was at Disney. Just sheerly by coincidence, I met a girl while I was at the park just hanging out one day, and she ended up being a princess. She played Snow White, as well as a number of other characters. Yeah, Warren's like, let's go. And she was wonderfully beautiful, wonderfully sweet. She had all the mannerisms down with her hands and all that stuff. And so do you remember back and Warren, to put this in perspective, do you remember back in the day, like in like band, like at band, there'd be like different chairs, right? Or in basketball, there's a depth chart, right? Or football, you have your top quarterback, second, your backup, and your third string. It's the same thing at Disney World with these characters, to where they have the number one Snow White in the Magic Kingdom, the number one Snow White, or the number one pick a princess, whatever, for every single character. And there's a depth chart attached to it. And if you're like the number one Snow White in the Magic Kingdom or Epcot or whatever it is, you're like a big deal. It's a really big deal. And you got to work your way up. So they spend hours and hours. They know how to do all the signatures. You ask, like, do they do birthday parties? No, they're just working in the park.
Yeah.
That's what they do,
Then they have to know all the history about the character, like every single their quiz. I mean, it's way more intense than I ever realized it was going to be. Yeah. So like, just goes to show, like, why is Disney doing this? Come on. They're like completely casting somebody who doesn't look like the stepmom. For why?
It's about the message.
Why? We know why. Yeah. They're just trying to get on board with all this stuff, getting to change the culture, make it acceptable.
Well, make no mistake about it. She was definitely a woman. And don't you tell me otherwise, you bigot.
I think in that article, if you scroll down, I swear I saw other examples of like Disney hiring men for women's roles. I swear there was like for like some fairy godmother shop where some dude was just fairy.
I was like, that wasn't a character, but it was to be like the little kids where they have like the little beauty shop and they do their hair or whatever. Yeah, which was I think that was out in California, but I saw that.
I wouldn't want my little girl like having her hair done by someone who's not her father. Some random male. Like, that's weird. No thanks.
Blabs, you could get a job at Harry Potter World playing like Hermione or something. Doing this.
Yeah, I do have the frizzy hair. Be perfect. Like, I'm Hermione Granger, and you are.
Blabs, you'd play Harry Potter, apparently. In
today's I could be a dude. I wish I had my glasses, but they're in there. But I had the glasses and everything.
Well, Warren, I don't know if you saw this, but this was being passed around last year. This was at Disneyland. Where
that's what I'm talking about. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's an area, and you why would you know this, right? But there's an area, if you have a little girl and they want to be a princess, you take them to the Bippity Boppity Boutique. And they get a makeover. They get their hair done. They get their makeup done. They look like a princess, and they take pictures and stuff. And you're greeted by the squires that you walk in. They're like, "Hello, princess. How are you? Are you ready for a great day?" And everyone gets all happy, and they put pixie dust on you and everything until you're greeted by this dude.
My name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmother's apprentices. I'm here to shop you around and make all your selections for the day.
My name is Nick, one of your fairy godmothers for the day. That's not a statement I thought I'd be saying today, but here we are.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Bippity Boppity Book, but I heard Shapiro talking about it. I think one time, maybe that's where that video. Because he was commenting on
Here
that.
we are.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, there we are. That's kind of what's going on over at Disney World. God, let's see. Was there any stories that y'all saw the run sheet? And just in the interest of time and getting to all the wonderful support we've had today, Des,
We
was
do
there
talk
another
about the
story?
whistleblower.
Okay, that's where I was going to go with this. We talked about the story a couple weeks ago, but the whistleblower for Boeing, they had all the planes, like doors flying off their planes a couple weeks ago, and we had tires flying off on takeoff, and it's just absolute insanity. And people are now more scared to fly than ever, right? And there was the Boeing whistleblower who was like, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is why all this stuff's going on." And then he just ended up dying. He ended up
Unaliving himself in the car.
Yes. He was it with a gun?
Yeah, I think it was in his truck. They found him just.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, he told all his family and friends, "I'm definitely not suicidal. I'm definitely never going to do something." And sure enough, it happens, right? Well, history has repeated itself as a second Boeing whistleblower from Kansas has also died, which is crazy to think. These are the people that are calling out Boeing in a major way, and they just happen to be dying, which is
How did
very
he die?
well. I'm glad you asked. Because this is a guy who was in great health, and he just over the last 2 weeks got really, really sick, and he got admitted, and then he Blabsy, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he have some sort of like pulmonary failure or something that happened?
Something like that, I think. I can't remember.
I saw the bullet points of this story, and it was he was in perfect health, and he just all of a sudden got really, really sick, and it was very, very suspicious. It wasn't like a gun to the cranium or anything like that. It was just he got.
The cause was antibiotic resistant to staph infection, commonly known as MRSA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just one of the. Was like,
sketchy.
okay. Yeah, it's very sketchy, very sketchy. So anyways, if everybody wants to feel good about corporations and in your government, now you can. And if you don't ever want to be scared to talk about things,
Do we know what he said about Boeing?
I don't think so. That's probably going to be classified for like the courts or something. I think. I haven't seen anything, at least.
They said a drug-resistant MRSA infection, quote, totally took over the Boeing whistleblower's lungs. So just totally just, hey, all of a sudden he's dead, DED dead, and now he's gone. So, I guess that'll keep all you pesky whistleblowers from talking about us again.
I hate flying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll drive, dude. When I go to North Carolina, I'll just drive for 2 days so I can avoid flying. I hate it.
By the way, I'm looking over at over at our locals chat, and the ability to put in emotes or put in
it's
GIFs,
so funny, isn't it?
They are spectacular. You guys are great. You guys are great overall. That's one thing that you cannot do over on YouTube. You cannot do over on Rumble, but you can do over on locals, which is great. Oh boy, oh boy. So there we go. That is Clown World for this week. You know what? No, I do want to hit this one because this is from Elon Musk. This is just stupid. Okay, so the X headquarters is in San Francisco, and San Francisco has become, this hotbed of trash on the world over the last, couple of years. And can you imagine just this is just insane to me. He said, last year, several ex-employees were threatened by a guy with a machete outside of a Walgreens on Market Street in San Francisco. That's like right downtown San Francisco. They didn't report it because that doesn't constitute an arrestable crime in California. Once again, I want to repeat that. They were threatened by a guy with a machete, and that is not a crime in California. That guy later killed 3 people, right? Because he threatened with a machete. That's insane. But if you scroll down here, the guy says, I was almost attacked by a homeless dude outside X headquarters last year. And Elon Musk goes, very common occurrence. Like, that's like, when did this become okay? And why are people accepting of this? I don't understand what and how. Like, you can just be like, yeah, it's pretty common. That's just a regular thing. It's just dudes with machetes and, needles and drugs and poop on the ground. Like, well, it's just a thing.
Yeah, and if you had a gun and probably pulled out a gun to defend yourself, you'd probably be the one to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
He probably would have gotten in trouble had that guy, instead of threatening with a machete, had a water gun. He probably would have gotten more trouble.
You got that water gun.
gun.
Yeah, as long as it has the, with any sort of like fake gun, you need to have the orange tip on it. As long, you got to make sure the orange tip is real, because if it's a black tip, then it looks like a real gun and you get shot at. But God, I don't really understand how we got here, but that's California for you. That is that's Clown World for this week.
Clown. Clown.
All right, Blabs, let's get to some super chats, guys. Thank you again for your support. Your supers are massive in a major way. We'll get to every super chat, every direct donation, every rumble rant before we go. With that said, Warren, Des, if you at any time need to bounce, by all means, just let us know. We will gladly let you have the out, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. But feel free to stick for as long or as little as you like, as we cannot help how gracious our community has been today. So.
That's good.
Yeah, you guys have been growing like crazy. It's awesome to see.
Thank you.
With wonderful friends like you guys, it's important. It's important that everybody goes and checks out Dez's channel and Warren's channel, obviously. Let's go get to these super chats. Blast, fire away.
Yeah. All right. Lord Botha for $4.99. Part 1. There are 130 countries without PlayStation. What is Helldivers going to do since they can't link to play? On a Q&A, they said to use a VPN, which is against terms of services, which is bananas, but yes. Chest Rockwell. DSP squeezes banana on May 1st. Hashtag first complaint. Thank you. Lord Botha comes in with part 2. This will be openly calling for those players to violate Sony terms of service instead of doing what they need to and refund those players. Correct. Thank you, Lord Botha, again. TRS Chaos. Free the banana. May the burst be with you, Eggplant. Squirt. Thank you.
I feel like next year on May 1st, we need to do a stream of just like a banana opening. Like, it's just a banana. Well,
you really gotta word yourself when you say these things. On May 1st next year, we should really do a stream. It's like, whoa, what?
I'm just throwing out ideas, Blabs. That's all. I'm just throwing out ideas. Fire away. What you got?
Anyway.
Yeah. Funny.
Cole Summers, could this be Sony trying to force a large test of the AI tool for wrong think?
Maybe.
Josh, going to Star Wars themed Smash Mouth concert tomorrow from May the 4th. How does that make sense? Not for a simple late man like me to comprehend. Yeah, I don't.
Wait.
Didn't the lead singer of Smash Mouth die? Are they still a thing?
And I love the idea that you're going to a Smash Mouth Star Wars.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Oh, so wait, they're the ones that sing All Stars, so maybe they'll
yeah.
All
Yeah, but the lead singer died, so it's like I thought they were disbanded, but guess I'm wrong.
Well, just because someone dies doesn't mean they gotta move on. But that sounds like a great time. Take some video and send it to us over on X. We'd love to check it out. Real quick, Blabs. Sparta Chris came in with a wonderful $100 super chat. Says Craig and Blabs and the guests, if they wish, My Girl by the Temptations, and maybe a happy birthday for Desiree for her 90-something-ish birthday and still looking amazing. Well, if y'all recall, Warren, do you have a singing voice? Do you have any interest in singing with us today?
Singing. Oh, happy birthday.
My Girl by the
My Girl.
Temptations.
Oh,
He's so
I got that
disappointed.
one.
He's like, absolutely.
I got sunshine.
Yeah,
on a cloudy
On a
day.
cloudy day, when it's cold
We're just
outside.
singing now. We already got it.
I
I've
don't know
got
the
the
words.
month of May.
Hey, well,
I
Yeah.
guess
oh, this one.
you'd say what
What
can make
make
me feel. These are horrible. Wait.
Yay,
my
my girl.
My girl.
My girl.
girl talking about
About
my
My
girl.
my
girl.
girl.
My girl.
all the tomatoes in the chat right now. Warren's like, I'm never coming back.
There you go. All right. Thanks.
Thank you for the $100 super chat. Naruto Kaken, I think. Sorry, I can't read your name.
Yeah,
Marvel went from X-Men to X-Men. That's funny.
Nice.
Because they're gonna be focusing on that new was it X-Men movie or whatever. It's gonna be all female led.
Yeah, that's right. Good stuff. Good pun.
Sigrun Ayrturna. I don't remember what year it was, but some time ago, For Honor did an event on May 4th where they made it so every character would have their weapons light up like lightsabers, complete with sounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I know probably like Battlefront 2 tomorrow will be like full of triple XP and all that stuff. Jose A. Taco. Arrowhead made it really clear that it was Sony's choice, not theirs on the change. It's hard to support a developer when the IP holder is wrong. Yeah. I mean, some of these the developers are cheering for it though, so it's like, well, cool. You could just not say anything at all. Remdog, animation all looks the same, but Dipper Pine, Steven Universe, the latest Lion-O, Gumball, and all besides each other, I blame Cal. Thank you, Remdog.
Good old Lion-O. Love that. By the way, here's the For Honor Star Wars thing from May the 4th a couple of years ago. This looks pretty cool. Check this out.
Yo. I've been looking forward to this.
Let's go. That's cool. That's pretty wicked.
That looks sweet.
Suna Soul Silver. Do the Spanish people get a day off work? No? Why? For
No,
this
but they do.
Halo Hispanic heritage.
That's right.
Cody, Mexican Halo needs more maraca and sombrero.
Hold on. I'll get you the Morocco. Hold on. I'll modify it. You guys tell me what you want real quick. This is a work in progress here, guys, which you guys let me know what Mexican Halo needs, and I will gladly add
Sombreros,
to it. So.
yeah. Probably a poncho. Sean Coakley. Craig, that's SA Spurs Fiesta colors. Plus, Halo Infinite has been doing this every awareness month. Interesting.
Yeah. Yes. The San Antonio Spurs. Yes. Those are very. I don't know what the proper term is. Spanish Mexican colors, I guess. But once again, do you really want to wear them as armor when you're trying to dodge bullets? Just throwing it out there.
That's Pie over there, or as I say, that's Pierre over there. Netflix, for all its faults, have helped keep Western animation from becoming a cold arts hellscape. I'll take a dog shit live action remake so long as I keep getting Arcane and Blue Eyed Samurai any day. Thank you. That's Pie over there.
Nice.
Cody, OG Demon Souls, greater than all other Soulborn games. Thank you very much.
Oh wow, that's a hot take.
Yep.
Hatchet. If I could buy one company, I'd buy Disney and shut the whole company down, including ABC, ESPN, etc. Yeah, you know what? Just bring it back to its roots. Pasta Fazul. Oh my god, look at the avatar. Soiny and Purge the Wokeness. That's from Fable, isn't it? That chick from Fable?
Yes.
I am the Icarus. We would buy Sega and do what Nintendo don't. Thank you. I'm the Icarus. Andrew, I'd buy Ben & Jerry's so we can enjoy it without being owned by commies. Yeah, dude, I haven't had Ben & Jerry's in years because
I boycotted that long ago too.
Yeah. Kratos, Tesla layoffs are up because Elon regularly lays off the bottom 10% and rehires. It's a stinky practice that he's done for years. Others have copied it. That's shitty.
Is it? Hold on.
I mean, for those employees who were like, I need this job, man.
Okay, well then be better. Like I mean that in the best way possible. Like people like it. That's the reality. I actually think that's whether it's stinky or not, it keeps you
It
on your
makes
toes.
sense, yes, but like, what if like
Right.
he's just like firing like janitors and all that? It's like, but
Well,
you need janitors.
if he fires the top, the bottom 10% of janitors, they may, like it goes back to the Disney princess thing, right? If you got 10 Disney princesses, right, and the bottom one,
Justice for Jose is all I'm saying. Listen,
no, I'm
that's
just
all
saying.
I gotta say.
If you have a lot of Jose's, right, and Juans and Bobs or whatever, right, and they're all janitors, right? You keep the top 9 out of 10 of them, right? But Jose at the bottom, he's just coasting along. And you bring in another one, and I think it ups the janitor game. That's all I'm saying.
Chat saying he'll replace all janitors with a robot within the next 20 years, and wait and see. It's kind of true. All that 10% is just never to come back.
Yeah, you could argue it's true meritocracy, right?
Yeah. The real Holtzinator. Draft everyone who complains about online safety as it pertains to mean words. Give them real problems. Oh yeah, they wouldn't survive. Flynn, everyone has a black hole.
It's true, Flynn. Thanks for letting us know. Appreciate that.
All right. Bob's a tower for $5. Is this okay? Let me read this. Okay. If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Craig, unsubscribe podcast when I like pickles, violence, and tentacles. Yay. I don't know who that is. Anyway. Thank you, Bob
whenever we get the invite to the unsubscribe podcast, we'll go on.
The real Holzinator says, funny, I was going to buy Helldivers a couple days ago. Oh, well, look at that. You saved $40. Alter, Sony has a patent for skipping ads by yelling out the product name at the television. Look it up, so I don't think they'll ever enforce this. It's a patent for skipping ads by yelling out the product name? What?
Thanks, Alter. Appreciate that.
We're all like, huh? Jono! Hi, Jono. Helldivers was a game that united players across platforms, correct? Now Sony has come in and burned PC players who want nothing to do with them. This is very true. Thank you, Jono. Suna Soul Silver, it's more safety for their quarterly investors. Nissan, simple solutions to disable crossplay for PCs. All the console cotton pickers can keep playing in blissful ignorance. Yeah, but the problem is you have to be able to play. You have to have one to play the game. I think you can't even like log in or anything. I don't think this works. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nika Bob. Craigie. Oh, what's up, my knitters? Sony is doing this to bump the PlayStation Network accounts for their shareholders meetings. It may also be a sign they're trying to buy Steam. Oh, wouldn't that be something if they've tried to buy Steam? What are you doing, Craig? I see him backstage laughing.
I'm distancing myself from you right now.
Yeah, I'm not associated with Babs. She just works for me, that's all. Insanity. Helldivers 2 has a crossplay on and off options. They could have locked it to close without a PlayStation account, but chose not to. Red Eye, member for 2 months. Couldn't be another way to push their player numbers for PlayStation for investor? Probably. It's probably what they're trying to do.
Could be. I think it's more of a data thing, for sure.
Too. Could be all of them. A bunch of reasons. Gear. Now that's hard news, which is a bunch of tomatoes. Thanks, man. JM, I was reluctant to cancel my PlayStation Network in solidarity with the Stellar Blade protest because it meant I couldn't play Helldivers. I have 0 regrets now. Yep.
There you go, JM. Once again, vote with your wallet.
Yeah. Slain Hope. This is the WEF. We must force behavior bullshit. Yeah. Bantha Salesman. Even some of the big VTubers like Iron Mouse are dropping Helldivers too because of Sony. Yeah, well, people are waking up. Doesn't mean some of them will go back to it in like a month. But yeah, whatever. I made a PlayStation account. I went back, kind of like Nick Merckx. Sony, the company as a whole, implemented a new strategy, but no journalists will talk about it because they're in on it.
Right.
The jack of all casuals. They say for our protection, link your account, but how many times have they been hacked? Yes, correct. WF Yowing. NOA has been doing goofy translations for years, and not to mention Nintendo war on emulators and game preservation. They hate fans like the rest. Thank you very much. Snake Master. Craig, did you see UHF is coming out in 4K July 2nd?
I did. My brother's going to get it. Warren, Des, are you familiar with the greatness of the 1989 classic starring Weird Al Yankovic, UHF?
never saw
No.
that. Weird
Listen.
Al, as in like Amish Paradise, Weird Al. Right?
Yes, as in that Weird Al Yankovic, as in all the greatest, as in he's the best. Weird Al Yankovic, 1989 UHF. They got a big. It's like this cult movie that bombed horribly at the box office, but has kept going and going and going over the last like 35 years. It's so good. It's so great. Anyways, it's awesome. It has Michael Richards in it, the guy who played in Seinfeld, Kramer. Like it's spectacular. Anyways, they're doing a big 4K release of it. My brother's going to buy it, so I'm going to get it from him. Hey, quick side note about Helldivers 2. And it is worth mentioning. We talk about the idea of like, you got to vote with your wallet, right? And I wanted to go over to Steam charts real quick and see how Helldivers 2 is going on it. And you can see Helldivers 2 here, the player count, whereas most of the time it's pretty consistent, right? It's like you'll see a drop overnight and people will come back up throughout the day. But what you've seen here with Helldivers is a decrease since this was announced. This was about right here. This was announced, 7-8 hours ago, right? And you saw the uptick, and then all of a sudden, this is where it would generally start going back up. But it has gone down. Now, there's still 92,000 people playing the game right now, but that could, it could be 110,000 people. If 20,000 people decided not to play the game because of it, that's a pretty good chunk of people.
Well, but do they already have your money though at this point? Like, I mean,
but they could, yes, they do have the first $40, but they could potentially not have your DLC money and your, all the other stuff. That's the thing.
It's also important to note that this effect hasn't taken place yet. It's going to be happening in upcoming weeks. So it'll be really interesting to see if people will still be playing it. And then once the effect happens, then everyone's going to be like, I don't want to make a PlayStation buy. So that
hopefully it just tapers off even more before then, because it sends a message now.
Right. And this is just getting out right now. You got to remember that what's going to happen tonight when people are hearing about this now, they're online, they see it on Twitter, they see us talking about it, they see other podcasts talking about it, whatever. They see videos about it from the YouTubers. Tonight, when they get home and they get into their regular habit, hey, it's Friday at 7:00. I'm ready to play Helldivers with Dave, Jim, and Bob, right? And they have their quartet going in ready to release some democracy on the world. Will they choose to play a different game because of this? That's where the next step is.
This is some good PR for xDefiant. Yeah.
Stop being such a shill for xDefiant. It's crazy.
I was just saying, it's funny. It's perfect timing. This game never was coming out, and then all of a sudden, May 21st, and then Helldivers falls off.
Right.
All
right,
anyway, Daedalus, Steam DB 25757. Oh, 25,757 negative reviews today's and counting. Damn.
Yeah.
Sparks. Spitz is talking crap. Helldivers 2 developer, take a look. Thank you very much, Sparks. Scarfy. Hence, I stick to single-player games. I prefer challenges over social events. Maybe if Sony offered a skin, then might as well be rainbow skin. Eh? Cesario. So I warned Blabs not to look up Guro-chan during the AI art debate on Superchat, Craig, and agreed. And Blabs looked up Guro on this stream. Shakes head. Sorry.
There you go. Thanks, Cesario. Appreciate you.
There's lots of stuff. Anyway. Daedalus, how does it feel to see everything you love adulterated and turned into garbage and filth? Sad.
It's great. It's everything. I love it. I love everything I love being just destroyed in front of my eyes. It's the best.
But we have to make sure that we really don't get demoralized, because that's exactly what everybody wants. Instead, we have to fight back. So don't give up, everybody.
Let them know. Let them know, Des. Tell them. Keep fighting.
Gerardi. Halo Women's HM skin looks like it has chickenpox. Thank you. Crazy. Evil Queen. Hey, Queen. Yes, slay girl.
Crazy P.
Thanks, Crazy. Trooper Dose, Sony is not being legit, unlike you beautiful, bodacious pitches. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Trooper. Appreciate you.
Ligma, the evil drag queen. Oh my god, that avatar. Anyway, give her the old Dundee check. Why are you licking someone's eyeball? Ugh. Anyway, River Miles, the magic mirror would call that dude out. Thanks, River. Like,
Yes.
you are not the fairest of them all. That's a
This is the
man,
fair.
man. Solidarity. He needs to stop playing as the queen and go catch some rebounds. Thanks, solidarity.
Start boxing out with the elbows, grabbing that ball, looking like
Queen.
Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy, grabbing some rebounds over there. Sorry.
Garfy the Strange by Sweet Carol. A horror indie game officially does Disney princesses better than Disney. Welcome to Rocky Horror Disney Show. Thank you, Scarfy.
I love the idea of somebody going out as the evil queen and boxing somebody out.
Can you go do it? Speaking of like evil queen, there's a lot of memes that we have to share later, but I'm just saying Craig should dress up as the evil queen and go play basketball.
Not gonna happen.
Lucidus, Earth Defense Force 6 coming soon. EDF. Thank you. Cameroon Red, the PlayStation thing just seems like Sony is once again too confident as their head, but now the arrogance is wokey flavored. Yes. Your overconfidence is your weakness. Skyfree the Strange, it's the gremlins, I tell you. Thank you. Psychotic. Mr. President, a second whistleblower has hit. Thank you, Psychotic. Jesus. Gear. Fools like these are doing the same thing to Grums. I feel bad for Grums fighting for gaming freedom, but again, with the Boeing scandal. Thank you. One time at Bandcamp, Warren, what does your school think of you not being woke? Do you get backlash from students and other teachers?
Yeah, I was actually curious. Do you teach high school or college?
I teach part-time at a college. I teach high school full-time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get any, no one really talks about it to me. Yeah, I think the students don't pay as much attention to it as I think we think they do. It's not like at a college. I think it'd be probably more intense at a college.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I actually have 2 high schoolers right now.
Oh.
So, and I'm not a fan of the majority of their teachers. I would be complaining all the time, but it would embarrass them. So I don't say all their stories. They come home almost every day with a story. However, they've had like a handful of really awesome teachers, and they just love. I'm so grateful for those teachers. So I know your students really are grateful for that other voice that goes against. Well, I don't know where you are in the country, so maybe your school isn't that bad.
Massachusetts.
Okay. So I know that my kids are really, and I as their parent, I'm really grateful for the teachers that do actually challenge kids to think critically instead of just memorize whatever is the news and fun facts of the day and spout it out like it's actual facts. But I also had my father was a college professor and my mom as well. So I know what it's like in the college setting too, and how you have to be extremely careful. And it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's parents like you though that make the difference, because there are no parents. We see the protests happening now. There's no one pushes back at the college, and then the college just gets out of hand because there's no systems of checks and balances there. So thank goodness for parents like you at the high school, and there are teachers out there. If they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
All right. Bullet Shepherd says, when Craig said she was a real woman, I thought he meant the Snow White he was dating. Yeah, she had a 6-inch floppy and a 9-inch hardy, but she was a real woman.
She was the nicest, one of the, like, legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met, and one of the most beautiful. It was awesome. She was a great catch for my early 20s.
Burner says, I would buy Kotaku and turn it back into its roots.
Oh man, well you'd be ready to lose money if that was the case.
And look at this one. Snapple Ryra 89 for $100 says, I have a last minute request. Craig, in your best Nature Boy Ric Flair accent, can you sing the AVGN song? Don't skip on the woos, please. So here's your mission.
Yes, absolutely. Snapple Ryra, I'll read that. I will sing that in just a little bit.
Xander says, compare Halo guide to Mexican Gundam for G Gundam. Thank you, Xander. John, member for 4 months. The Green Hill Zone outside your window background is awesome.
Got Marvel Zone too.
There we go.
Kratos says, what if all 10 janitors are great and a 10th is just less great? You end up throwing baby out with bathwater and losing tribal knowledge a lot of the time, especially with smaller companies. Fire people who need to be fired. Yeah, that's a good point, Kratos.
I agree with you, Kratos. I think that in a situation like Tesla, where you have thousands of people working at a certain point. Like Tesla's not a small company. In a small company, sure, right? I'm not going to be like, sorry, Blabs, like in our like 2-person companies, you're out. In a giant corporation, I think it's a little bit different, and I think that's kind of the message. Small businesses, no way, right? Yes, fire people that need to be fired, but I totally understand what you're saying, Kratos, for sure.
Walter, Google Sony McDonald's Peyton. Thank you very much, Walter. And Pippa says, anyone leaving Helldivers should check out Ember. Thank you very much. And we are caught up on the YouTubes.
All right. You guys have been ridiculous today. Jacob with the direct donation says, for me, I'll keep going until I can't with Helldivers. It's a month out, so who knows? But if it ends there, that's it. Deep Rock Galactic will have its next season out, so I'm okay either way. PS YouTube won't let me send this. Oh, thanks, Jacob. John says there's a great channel called Censored Gaming that goes over what gets censored across regions when games come out. Censorship for Sony has been a thing since the PlayStation 4 came out. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. YouTube came in with the 2. Says, can we expect Blabs to make an X video of playing xDefiant on X? This keeps getting censored on YouTube. I don't know why. Thanks, YouTube. Appreciate that. Blabs, any chances of some xDefiant gameplay on X with the X video?
No, I'll be doing it on Kick and YouTube, though.
Okay. Q4 Warren came in. Warren, it's for you with the 5. Says, do you have any hope for colleges and college students in the future? I do not see any positive future unless there is a massive human fluid. And unless there is a massive red human fluid conflict where people will or is forced to fight. The conflict may help reset people's minds.
I think the conflict will come through the form of like the competitive marketplace. And I think sort of if you take Hollywood as kind of an analogy for it, the independent, the alternative projects will, I think, inevitably tip the scales of this huge system that's built on unions and a very set way of doing things. It does look bleak, but I think it's a bubble that will inevitably pop. Logically, I sure hope so. So I do think there's hope. As we were just talking a second ago with Des, there are teachers out there that are frustrated by this and that recognize the same things we do. So I have hope. So I would hold out hope.
And the teenagers and young people who are awake to all this nonsense are freaking awesome. Like, they are really smart kids. And so there is like a real counterculture that's coming up.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. That gives us hope. Gusium came in with the 5. Says, hi, Guy. As a Pole, just wanted to mention that today is the 3rd of May, Constitution anniversary. Poland's first constitution, as well as the first constitution in history, predating the French and U.S. Constitution. Just a historical fun fact. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. That's great. Mercenary came in and says, I'll be uninstalling Helldivers and demand a full refund. At this point, I'm begging God to end the world and do it by sexy blue and green alien girls. Maybe then, they can take me away and I can live the rest of my life out as Captain Kirk. God help me. And Helldivers 2 is dead to me. I should have waited. Oh well. I guess I didn't spend any more on getting anyone else into the game. Fun while it lasted. I can send super chats to others, but I think someone at YouTube blocked me from sending money to side scrollers. Oh, dang, it's crazy. Well, it sucks. And he followed up and says, you guys think it's bad. I'm 44 and everyone still keeps thinking I'm under 18. I don't know if that's accurate.
Plausible.
But I'm going to press X to doubt on that, Mercenary, but that's okay. Then again, I still get carded. Well, okay, go ahead, Mercenary. Go crazy. Good for you. Congratulations. Jared came in with the 1 over on Rumble. Says, hello, everyone. What are your thoughts on the situation in Helldivers? I just found out that Desiree has a birthday next Friday. I think Blab's first action movie should be The Dark Knight. Wait, you haven't seen The Dark Knight, Blabs?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Yes, we know Dez's birthday is on Friday, which is going to be great. Next Friday, the wonderful 29 years old. And we give you our thoughts on Helldivers previously. Guys, thank you again for all your support today, whether it's been a direct donation, super chat, or Rumble rant, or even over on the local side. General Duality says, I got my tickets to see Lord of the Rings in theaters with my buddy. I can't wait to see them in theaters. It's crazy how they're showing during the weekend of Fan Expo Dallas. Let's go. Yeah, that's coming up. Dude came in with the 5, says, remember, Guru was probably spearheaded by women since when men make hentai, it's very wholesome. Women, for some reason, try to create the grotesque stuff since 50 Shades of Grey is too tame for them. Okay. Shane came in with the $20 Rumble rant. Thank you, Shane. Says, hey, ladies and gents, I have to give a shout out to Lady Desiree. If y'all would like to watch a streamer with actual talent, I would give her a tune. I would definitely tune in. Oh, hey, Craig, didn't see you there. Hey, thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. Yeah. Everyone go check out Des over on Kick. She's spectacular, and she streams right before the show, which is great. So you guys can go watch her and her wonderful musical talent over on Kick. She will welcome you into the new day with her wonderful talent on a day-to-day basis, which is great. Blabs, would you read Bullet Shepherd, please?
Yeah, he says, oh man, I was looking forward to some Blabs Erks videos. Wait, did I hear that right? No, there will never be a next video of me. Thank you very much. I have dignity and morals and stuff, so no.
There you go, Blabs. Blake came in with the 2, says, go F yourself. Did I make myself clear? Go F yourself. Hi, Sony. Yes, Blake. I think we understand. You're very not happy with Sony right now. Probably rightfully.
Fuck yourself. Is that clear?
Oh.
Thanks, Elon. Appreciate that. That's good. Always a pleasure for Elon to pop in throughout the show, which is good. All right, we're almost wrapped up. I got Snapple Rai Rai song coming up as I'm going to be singing as the Nature Boy. Let's say, woo, woo, Ric Flair with the AVGN song. He says, don't skip on the woos. Okay, here we go.
I got some memes. Do you want to take your time researching first?
Yeah.
So here's the first
I know the
meme.
song.
How you do, fellow teenagers? That's me. Like, what is that right there? Like, someone's face is just on the side. It's really funny. Then we have, apparently, like, I farted, I guess. It says, Babs, did you fart? And it's like, no. So I guess, whatever. Happy Cinque de May. Oh, okay. So there's the burritos and everything. Here's today's big story for hard news. Look at that. We got our new image, Craig. Today's big story.
Right there.
Why do you need to know my social security number? Because shut up. That's exactly what PlayStation and Sony's doing. This is Craig as was it something I said when Craig meets Snow White? Then again, we have evil Craig. There's like so many of these before, after. Craig playing basketball. And there we go. We're all caught up.
There we go. All right. The AVGN theme song. No words. Let's see if I can do this. Because, okay, little fun fact about this song. Warren, do you know the Angry Video Game Nerd?
No.
Okay, so the Angry Video Game Nerd, Desiree, do you know the AVGN? Do you know who this guy is?
I know that name, so I think I'm gonna recognize it, but I can't put the face to the name.
So Angry Video Game Nerd is he is an icon in the YouTube space. He has been around forever, and more or less, I kind of grew up with him online. His videos started on my first website back in the day called Screw Attack. I found him really early on, and we've been buddies for a long time. Anyways, I was there like during his entire career. He's continued to prosper. And like I was there for like my company made his first logo and all these things, but his theme song is pretty iconic. So at least in the online space. So now I'm gonna sing it, which will be fun. And let's see what we got here. All right. Now let me go just flip it over. Here we go. The Angry Video Game Nerds theme song by Kyle Justin. So here it is right here, just so you see the theme song. I'm gonna go ahead to the
Offspring kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna continue on as it goes into the chorus here and take you back to the past as woo, Ric Flair. Oh my gosh, just insane. All right, Snapple Rai, thank you very much. And I will be singing this. Hello, everybody. It's great to see you. Little Ric Flair.
Little jazz hands.
Oh, got to get into it. Let's go. Little Ric Flair. I guess I'm just going to deliver the woos on this because I don't really know how Ric Flair talks. But nope. High flying. No, I can't do a Ric Flair, but I can do the woo in a major way.
He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Yeah, I put tomatoes in the chat.
Why would you do that?
It wasn't that good.
Pretty good.
No, right?
I try. I do my best and I try.
When you try your best and you don't succeed.
Take us out, Blab.
What? Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. If you are not subscribed to Warren or Desiree, their links can be found in the bottom of the description. So make sure you are subscribed to them. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get them. What's wrong, Craig? What?
You're killing it. Great job. Keep going.
Why'd you come back? Get out.
Can I say something before we end real fast?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I end it on a mushy note? Because that's kind of my thing when I'm not angry. Like I'm about to have my year anniversary for my crazy cancellation, like in 3 days. Like, don't put it up on me. Now I feel weird. Thanks.
You make her comfortable.
And which is really weird. It's been like such a crazy year. But I haven't checked my numbers, but I think I have made up my whole loss of Twitter following. And if it wasn't for side scrollers, I probably would not be streaming because y'all really like gave me hope that I could kind of keep pushing and rebuild. And I have, and I'm super grateful to you and your community. So thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank
you,
side
scrollers.
Hey, that's awesome. Let's go. Oh, wrong one. Hold on.
Crickets.
There you go. Love that. Hey, Des, you're the best.
So sad.
Warren, by the way, your channel's doing great, man. You've been killing it over on X and on YouTube, right?
Oh, thank you.
You got anything coming up? Anything coming up that we need to know about?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm filming something right after this. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. Every Friday, I'm trying to post something. I don't know. I posted something yesterday.
You should do the J.K. Rowling thing that happened.
Yeah,
J.K. Rowling
Daniel Radcliffe.
back and forth.
The Daniel Radcliffe thing.
Yeah, that'd be something good. That's how
Maybe
you
I'll do
blew
that.
up with J.K. Rowling. You might as well keep going. People are interested in what you have to say.
All right, I'll try it.
You need to ride the J.K. Rowling bus all the way to the promised land. Look at this. 70,000 subscribers. Good Lord, man. Killing it. Wow, look at you just murdering YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know what to say about the J.K. Rowling thing though. Like with Daniel Radcliffe's, he's being a dick. Like that's all I can really say.
Well, you can say like try to take it from different perspectives. You know, the whole critical thinking thing. But like, okay, he has a right in saying what he says, but should he have just shut up and not say it at all? And you know, all these other things.
I got you. All right, thanks, Wubs.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got it. Video done. 20 minutes. There we go. All right. Love it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Blaz, you're doing a great job. Please, by all means, take us out.
You ruined it. Anyway, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. We'll see you on Monday with Yellow Flash. Fatality. Done.